Good morning, guys. I am here today. I do not feel good today. I'm kind of sick. ServiceNow, Tesla, both down pretty significantly. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Overnight, we did have some more escalation. First of all, let's take a look at oil here. I think oil is one of the interesting things to look at. We did see oil late yesterday spike. Now, when I saw this happen in markets here, I was like, why did oil spike this much? What happened right here for oil? You can see how we spiked, and then we originally came right back down. We spiked big, originally came right back down. What ultimately happened here was there were explosions heard in Iran. And so people assumed in this moment that the ceasefire was off and that, we were striking again. Apparently it was just exercises. They announced later that it was just exercises, that it wasn't actually strikes or anything like that happening overnight. And so what you saw yesterday on that news release is that you saw a big spike in oil. People started getting really, really nervous, and then you see it come right back down and basically fill the entire gap. It's still a little elevated if we zoom out here, so oil's still up some. It's at 93.90s, basically $94 a barrel for WTI crude, but that's essentially what happened yesterday. And so I don't know if anybody paid attention to this yesterday, but yeah, it was a little shaky, a little weird, And so, yeah, that is what happened. What's up, Chan, Brandon, Max, Big Slum, CP, K, Jonathan, Blaze, Pawn, Julie, Sergio, Steve, Yee, Old Hack, Apex, Max, Ava. Good morning, guys. Good morning. It is Tuesday, or it's Thursday. We got jobless claims unemployment today as well, guys. We do have jobless claims unemployment. Yeah, I mean, look, if you bought the dip, you're probably in a little trouble here. Depends on where you bought. If you bought it back at the previous close, maybe you're not doing too bad. But another big story of the day right now, realistically, is ServiceNow. ServiceNow dumped on their earnings here. So ServiceNow dumped on their earnings. They actually didn't have the worst results they could. But yeah, ServiceNow dumped on their earnings. It's one of the big stories of markets. Obviously, Tesla dumped after the earnings call. But in simple terms, ServiceNow makes software for big companies. And they use this software to manage their internal work, IT help desks, HR requests, customer service tickets, workflow automation. So it's kind of like an operating system for how large corporations get stuff done internally for companies. Now, a lot of people have been worried that these type of jobs are going to be replaced by AI. And almost every Fortune 500 company uses them right now. They recently added AI tools called Now Assist that automate some of these workflows. And so they are adopting AI. But yesterday they beat EPS. They posted 97 cents. They beat the 96-cent estimate. They posted 377 billion. They beat the 374 billion estimate. It's up 22% on the year. So they've beaten everything. They raised guidance. AI customers are spending over $1 million. Grew 130% year over year for ServiceNow. CEO said AI growth is far exceeding even our own expectations, but the stock is still down. It's specifically for one thing that they said during their earnings report, and this is dragging Microsoft and other stocks in the software sector down. People are back worried about a software slump, but they said that the Iran war directly delayed deals. They reported a 75 basis point headwind from delayed closing of several large on-premise deals in the Middle East due to the ongoing conflict, and so basically, they were getting ready to sign some contracts with some companies, and then the war happened, and those companies put the pen down. The deals, potentially got delayed. Another big scary thing here is that, Microsoft is pouring money into data centers as well. Here's Microsoft. Microsoft, at the same time of ServiceNow, dumped here as well from 430s down to 420s. And so, yeah, Microsoft. They're calling it the SaaS, which is Software as a Service Apocalypse. Jefferies Trading Desk called it that, an apocalypse for software as a service stocks. And yeah, right now big companies pay software companies like ServiceNow, Salesforce, Microsoft, Adobe on a per seat basis. You have 10,000 employees, you pay 30 per month per seat for Office, 50 per month per seat for Salesforce. That's guaranteed recurring income. But AI kind of breaks that model to a certain extent. If one AI agent can do the work of 5 employees, you don't need 10,000 seats anymore. You need maybe 2,000 or less than that. And so 80% revenue cut potentially if that continues to happen. Kramer said it as well, that Wall Street is convinced AI will either replace traditional software entirely or shrink user bases. But yeah, software is back down today. NASDAQ is back down as well. And we did get more news overnight about tankers getting... yeah, we did get more news overnight about tankers getting... taken, basically. that tried to pass the Strait of Hormuz. And so there's still some fears. That's one of the reasons oil is up. But yeah, yesterday, again, just to look at this spike on oil here. Here's oil. Britt's here, by the way, guys. I'm sorry. I just keep talking.
Yeah, good morning. No, I like to let you get your intro dialogue out of the way before I start talking. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Yeah, good morning, good morning. No, I didn't say the war is over. That's definitely not what I said.
In terms of the fears of AI replacing software, do you mean like they'll replace the function of software, or they'll be the ones writing the software?
Both. But we're talking about software, what's called SaaS, which is software as a service. Think of it like this, right? Historically, prior to AI, companies would have customer service representatives, and these customer service representatives would walk customers through different things, and you would have to pay those people. You know, sometimes you have a company like ServiceNow that would automate it and do it for you and all this different stuff, but their margins are going to be going down, and that's what people are worried about from this earnings report. I think we saw Jim Cramer say the same thing this morning. I'm not a big Cramer, believer. Most people don't trust Cramer, but yeah, we're essentially, AI is going to replace a lot of those jobs.
Okay, so AI will actually directly perform the functions of the software.
Correct. And it already is, honestly. Like, it already is. Like, I've spoken to a bunch of different AI agents that sound legitimate. They sound real until you start really listening. They have a similar pause in every breath, so to speak. So everything they're saying, they have kind of a similar pause. They you know what I mean? So
I know what you mean. I've had similar interactions. Granted, mine were at the Taco Bell drive-thru, but same kind of thing.
Yeah, honestly, get AI at the Taco Bell drive-thru. It might be more efficient. It might be.
They
more
actually
efficient.
were. And I could see it learning as I was giving my order. It was kind of weird.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. And here, let me put my account down higher here. But yeah, Nasdaq is down. Oil is down. If we take a look at this deeper news here. Again, I'll give you guys the timeline for this oil spike we got yesterday. We're still up. But again, just to give you guys the timeline, because I was sitting here asking AI, I was like, what happened? AI got it wrong. I had to send it, but yeah, blasts were heard across parts of Iran, hit wires yesterday at 7:08 p.m. Yeah, 7:08 p.m. Central Time. So this is in Eastern Time. It's 8:08 p.m. Eastern Time, market time. We had news that blasts were heard across part of Iran. It hit the wires. Algo read blasts in Iran and immediately bought oil and sold the Nasdaq, thinking the U.S. resumed strikes. You can see this huge surge up, and you can honestly see a lot of the algorithmic movement here in markets. Like, you can see how much they're taking things up. So,
if it wasn't us, do we know what it was or who it was?
Well, we know it's algorithms, but yeah, blast heard part of across our Iran. Yeah. So the second half of the headline caught up. So we then following from the Tasnim, Iran's state news agency, clarified that it was due to air defense exercises, military drills, not attacks. And so when we heard of attacks, oil spiked, Nasdaq dumped. We thought ceasefire's off. We're back in this conflict. All this stuff. And again, oil got up to almost $100 a barrel. Got up to $97+ a barrel for WTI crude. Again, then they came out clarifying, said this is just due to air defense exercises, according to Tasnim. So, military drills, not attacks, and you can see we basically filled the entire gap on the way down here. But again, it does get interesting because Iran is running air defense exercises right now during an extended ceasefire with the United States, which is basically a threat to resume. It's not routine necessarily. It's Iran preparing for the possibility of more attacks and stuff like that. So I do think there's a reason for oil to be a little bit elevated versus where it was prior to this. We did also get news about a couple tankers. Let me see if I can find that news.
Yeah, I was curious if we boarded them or if the RGC took them.
I think it was the IRGC.
Okay.
But let me clarify. Oil plays aren't even moving this morning. Yeah, I'm seeing a couple things that are down right now. Like just in terms of data here. But yeah, let me get this up. Hold on. I'll put the countdown for jobless claims here. And today we have jobless claims unemployment filings going live at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, guys. 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. We had Tesla earnings yesterday. We will talk about that as well. But yeah, Jobless claims unemployment going live 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Hit the like button while we're here, guys. Can we get how many likes do we have right now? I'd love 100 likes plus. You know, I'm not gonna like demand it from you guys, but you know, show your appreciation. I appreciate it. If you're watching
that's my
the stream,
job. I demand it.
Yeah, Britt demands it from you guys. Yeah, we got jobless claims again in about an hour here. About an hour. We'll put the timer up right there. Wait for this to drop. But again, Tesla definitely reacted negatively. It was mostly during the call though. Like Tesla, the call started, just to clarify, it was 5:30. So the call started. By the time the call started, Tesla was already down, to be honest. It had basically filled the entire gap here on the downside for Tesla. And so, yeah, Tesla beat EPS and revenue. It announced some good stuff, but people are still worried about the pivot to AI, the low margins in vehicles, and more. So, Optimus robots. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're good.
So he spoke directly yesterday, right?
Yeah, he spoke during the earnings call.
Okay. I mean, did he elaborate on the future of the company or anything like that? I mean, did he give anything? I mean, did he say anything groundbreaking or?
Nothing really groundbreaking. He was honestly kind of relaxed. He said they're building their he said they're building their stuff, their Terrafab. He said they're building a couple different places and expanding. But yeah, Optimus robots, you know, it's interesting to see what Tesla's going to do moving forward. No, gross margins were good for Tesla. Tesla actually had good margins. I think last time they were like, what, 17 or 18%. This time they showed up at like 21%. So Tesla's margins for their earnings were good. And again, just to understand this is how much they make per dollar in their business. So like if the margin is 21%, that means every dollar they spend, they're making, you know, 21 cents of it, you know, so forth. That's what gross margins mean in this situation. But yeah, Tesla's down. Again, ServiceNow down big. Microsoft, because of that, is down big. Adobe is not really reacting well to this either. So we are seeing software companies really slump some here. So we're seeing software companies slump. Yeah, we do have a poll. Are you bullish or bearish on today's market, guys? Bull or bear? Let me know. 36% are bullish, apparently. 64% are bearish in the poll. So yeah, I mean, markets are generally down a little bit here. It was time for a pullback. We were breaking all-time highs. Oil's back elevated here. And again, a lot of this is due to the Iran news. So a U.S. blockade was expanded. 31 ships turned away. CENTCOM confirmed on X last night that the number of ships turned around at the U.S. naval blockade has risen to 31 total, mostly oil tankers. No ships are allowed in or out of Iranian ports. Hormuz is still basically closed as of this morning. Only 7 tankers or cargo ships moved through it. And we can look at some of these stats here for the Strait of Hormuz. But yeah, I'm showing only 5 ships transiting in the last 24 hours. 8.3% of normal here. There's about 280 vessels waiting. 85 are tankers. 120 are bulk carriers. 75 are others. War risk is still pretty high. So, yeah, Hormuz is still closed. Ceasefire is here, but it's only supposed to last for another few days, realistically. So, I'm not sure what we're gonna get in that regard. But yeah, it's an interesting market.
Are bulk carriers like container ships, or do you know?
They might be. I'm pretty sure bulk is just more of an all-encompassing word.
Okay.
You know,
Covers probably many different types of ships.
Right. I mean, I'm assuming like some of them are container ships. They're merchant vessels designed to transport dry cargo such as iron, coal, grain, large cargo. So it seems more like commodities, to be honest.
Okay.
But I'm sure there's some stuff like that in there.
Well, it may not be relevant to all this. I was just curious if you knew.
Yeah. All this bad news with Iran and gas prices rising and inflation. Why is the stock market keep all-time high? Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting dynamic here. 27,000 all-time highs on the NASDAQ here. We've had a big run back. Like, look at this run. I'm going to remove some of these drawings here. But man, dude, the NASDAQ has just kept on a pushing here. Out of the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 days. So 2.5 weeks here. Over the last 2.5 weeks, we have had 2 red days if you include today. And that's assuming today ends red. If you don't include today, out of the last 16 days, a little bit over 2 weeks, we have only had 1 red day. 1 red day. So the NASDAQ has been very resilient to all this stuff going on. It's been very immune to everything. John knows everything, Britt. That's right, dude. Get it right.
I was actually gonna respond to that. I know John knows everything. That's why I ask him everything.
I know, dude. Listen, I'm here. I'm here. You know, ask away, guys. That's what I'm here for. But yeah, NASDAQ been very resilient, very resilient. The S&P 500 has been as well. And again, the S&P 500 slowed down a little bit versus the NASDAQ here, relative to some of the others. The Dow as well. The Dow a little bit more vulnerable, I would say, to you know, some of the bad stories we've heard over the last week for the Dow. So the Dow is still not really breaking all-time highs. The Dow all-time high is still over 50,000, I think. Yeah, 50,600 is the Dow all-time highs. We're not even over 50 for the Dow. So the Dow's been pulling back. But all the Optimus robots are controlled. Yeah, but they'll get there, brother. Only because the war's on pause. Yeah, I mean, look, and if we get a reversal of this sentiment in which the ceasefire goes away, you know, the president did originally say the ceasefire was indefinite, and then I think the very next day, maybe it was yesterday or the day before, he said that, what was it, like 3 to 4 days, if I remember correctly? 3 to 4 days, and so the timeline is here. And again, markets are mostly red on the day, and, you know, increased fears about stuff going on in the Middle East, just causing people nerves. We also had some earnings that released this morning as well. I think we had specifically Honeywell. Honeywell's not reacting well, pun intended, I guess. So Honeywell is not reacting well here. I believe they did, what did they do, an offering, if I remember correctly? So yeah, Honeywell posted mixed numbers. They saw guidance numbers came for Q2 EPS at 213 to 223 versus 238. So a little bit weaker guidance. Q2 adjusted EPS 235 to 245 versus 256. So yeah, weaker guidance. Sales guidance showed up for Honeywell at 9.4 to 9.6 billion versus 9.7 expected. So a little bit worse guidance here for Honeywell. And yeah, we'll see what happens. I generally like Honeywell as a company, though. I think Honeywell, you know, regardless of what goes on in the world, a lot of people are still going to use Honeywell. We had them, I've always told the story about Honeywell, but we had an AC go out and we had a hot water heater go out in our house. And it wasn't a Honeywell product, but some of like the mounting things were Honeywell, like some of the bolts were Honeywell. And so we had them come out, and Honeywell basically paid for everything. They paid for the remediation. They didn't even really like grill us about it. They paid for the remediation. They fixed any of the damages. I think they even replaced our hot water heater, you know? So generally I like Honeywell as a company just from that experience alone. They do a lot of different businesses and they're pretty diversified, but I don't hate them. We'll see what happens for the stock moving forward. There's obviously still risks, but maybe there's a cheap dip buy opportunity here. What do you guys think? Is Honeywell worth a buy in chat right now? Intel earnings after hours. The new in for the ceasefire Sunday, so people are probably holding their breath. John is our Zoltar.
Great big reference. I mean, I think if you look at their history as a company, I think Honeywell's probably worth the buy. I mean, I don't see them going anywhere.
Yeah, for sure. You know, they've got a pretty good... I've always liked Honeywell. They pay a good dividend, I think, too. They've got a good long-term trend. Last 20 years, here's the chart. And so I don't... You know, yeah, I don't hate it. What's up, Jay? We'll see what he does Sunday, I guess. GEV is my baby. Yeah, I mean, I get it. And GEV honestly has done really well, dude. This thing's freaking.
What is GEV?
It's a similar. It's GE Verona. It's a similar company to Honeywell.
Okay.
You know, and so, yeah, they manufacture energy equipment.
Okay.
But yeah, GEV flying up. Look at this. Wait, this thing's up. What is this? 1,000%? Yeah, it's almost exactly 1,000% gain just in the last 12 months since April of last year. It's up 1,000%. It's up 10x basically. It's up from 115 a share to 1127 a share. So Yeah, I don't hate GEV either. I mean, damn, that's a crazy chart. That's a crazy chart. I'm not buying. I don't know if I want to buy it right now. I think Honeywell might have a better argument for like a dip buy, but you can't really argue with some of those trends. And Jim Cramer also has been talking about Honeywell this morning here. Jim Cramer, let's find it. Cramer's been tweeting this morning.
What's he got to say?
He said, again, let Honeywell come down, let them sell. He also said some stuff about, let me see this. Yeah, he also said some stuff about ServiceNow. He said, remember, the takeaway from ServiceNow, like it or not, it will be that AI is hurting, not helping them because of the decline in gross margins. That will translate into a decline in the IGV as the shorts will be back. Now 389 waiting, but it doesn't matter. Immediately transfer to the PE firms with lots of software debt. So basically what he's saying is that the tech stock, the software as a whole, will get dragged down from it. A decline in the IGV is a decline in the expanded tech software ETF. So he's basically saying software is going to get dragged down by it. Regarding Honeywell, he said, we have told club members that Honeywell almost always goes down after the quarter, but this quarter is not important. The moving up of the split is knee-jerk selling that we have all gotten used to by people who don't know the power of the split or the company. It's almost humorous how they hit it every time when it reports and then it bounces back. So go sell it. See you after the split. Honeywell. What is Honeywell splitting? Honeywell must have already split. Hold on, let me see. Yeah. And splitting is basically what it, as the name suggests, when the company splits, it's when the company essentially splits into, I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank here. It's when the company reduces the share size. Yeah. Or no, let me see. So a split would be, it would be adding shares, you know. It's basically keeping the company the same size, but lowering the price of the company, so to speak, is what it's doing. Like a reverse split is when you artificially pump the price of the company up to try to keep one of the stocks listed. It's essentially just removing shares and, you know, increasing the value. A normal split, what you'll see is like, you'll see a company that's worth $1,000 and then it's getting a little bit too expensive. I'm not going to be surprised if we see GE Verona split sometime soon. You know, once a stock starts getting over $1,000 a share, you know, it kind of limits the amount of people that are interested in buying it, especially like lower retail. And so reducing the price, splitting it in half or more, 10x is what they do a lot of the time.
So speaking of GE Verona, didn't it used to be a subsidiary of General Electric and now it's an independent company?
I think so.
I mean, it's maybe not important. I just like getting a little history on some of these companies. You know?
Yeah, I think so. So it was formerly the energy division of General Electric, I'm pretty sure. And then they
yeah, you're right. It says here, it says it was, I just looked at it. It says it was spun off and began trading as an independent company on April 2nd, 2024. And the remaining company became GE Aerospace.
Right. Well, I see. No, you're right. I see somebody say a split only increases the number of shares. Well, no, the size of the company stays the same. The purpose of a split is to reduce the price of the stock most of the time. So if the company goes up to, like, I told people I thought Netflix would split when it got, like, Netflix for a long time was over $1,000. It was like $1,100 a share, right? This would be a pre-split price of $930 a share where Netflix is at now, but it reduces the price. The company stays the same size, but it reduces the price of the shares so that it's thus more affordable to people, you know.
That's what I was going to ask was, do they do that to make it, to increase their potential investor pool, or do they do that to dilute somebody else's control?
They do it to increase the investor pool, and that's what Cramer's saying right now. That's what Cramer's saying right now. Is he saying people don't understand the power of the split? What he's saying is, like, you don't understand the buying that might step in for Honeywell, you know, from it, and that benefits. Honeywell looks like a good dip. I mean, I'm a fan of it. What's the dividend that Honeywell pays? Yeah, so Honeywell is restructuring to 3 independent publicly traded companies, starting with the spinoff of Solstice on October 30th. Shareholders receive 1 share of Solstice for every 4 shares of Honeywell. It plans to separate its aerospace and automation business into different entities as well. So
looks like a quarterly dividend of $1.19 per share.
Think about it, that's a lot. That's a good dividend, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's see percentage wise. What's that dividend percentage wise? What was it?
Makes the annual
How much
dividend.
was it?
The quarterly dividend is $1.19 per share, and the annual dividend is $4.76 per share.
Okay, that's not bad.
With a yield of around 2 to 2.2%.
Right. And Honeywell has been around for a long time. I don't think anybody's going to eat Honeywell's lunch, so to speak, anytime soon. But
neither do I.
Did Meta split? I'm not sure. I know like Nvidia split. I know there's a couple different companies that have split. I don't know about Meta though. Meta's down because tech is getting pushed down from Tesla earnings coming in red. Tesla earnings didn't come in red, but Tesla's dragging everything else down. The NASDAQ specifically, it's dragging software down from service. Software's getting dragged down, I mean, by ServiceNow.
Meta's never done a stock split.
Meta, yeah, I don't think it did. Meta went down to $90 a share back when Zuckerberg was getting involved with the metaverse. And then the metaverse kind of died, and he lost $10 billion in it, and then that's what made it drop to $90 a share. And then AI took off. We had the next AI boom, the AI wave. And if we look at Meta here, like I remember this because I watched it. Like I was here. I watched this happen. So if we look at Meta, you know, when Zuck was trying to get involved with the metaverse, this is where it dropped. He announced a $10 billion loss in the metaverse for Meta. This is when he changed the name to Meta, by the way. It was around this time. Then the metaverse kind of died and he lost $10 billion. He kept the name Meta, but then AI kind of took off, right? So AI took off, Oculus Quest took off, like VR got better. He got into AI and glasses and, you know, AI glasses and all these other things that are coming out now. And that kind of helped save Meta, you know, back up. But
sorry,
I was just gonna say, I thought Meta was sketchy at $90. I remember people telling me to buy it at $90, and I was like, I don't know, man. Facebook losing steam. I think one of the smart pivots that they did for Facebook was that they pivoted to a marketplace system, right? So people use Facebook as a marketplace, kind of like an eBay, really, for their area versus just a social media. Yeah, very good pivot. Very good pivot. I mean, obviously Zuckerberg owns, Meta owns WhatsApp. They own Instagram. You know, Facebook Marketplace is taking off. They own Oculus. And so Meta ended up being fine, especially in the age of AI when everything kind of ran. But yeah, it was risky for a while, for sure. Risky for a while.
The metaverse was the digital real estate you talked about before, right?
Yeah, it was kind of this all-encompassing term for like an online, kind of like Ready Player One type of stuff. The problem is that there were a lot of different ones. So there's a bunch of different metaverses, right? And they would sell real estate in all these different ones, and like it just got really saturated really quickly. People started using it as like a money grab. People got talked into dumb investments. All of this stuff pushed people away from it, really, I would say, after a while. Like people just got kind of tired of, you know, I think it was too early, frankly. I think it was just too early. I think in 10 years we'll have something that could be, you know, I think we'll have another wave of something like that.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to ask was, do you think it would have been successful or at least more successful had like VR technology been more advanced?
I think VR was good at the time, but I think really one of the things that killed it was the crash that we saw in NFTs and blockchain and crypto at the time. Like at the time, you know, a lot of the metaverse was associated with like what's called blockchain games, where you could basically play video games and earn crypto from playing those games. And there's a lot of association with that. Like some of the plots that they would sell in terms of metaverse real estate would be blockchain plots. Like they would sell them, you know, using blockchain to do it. And so when crypto crashed, the NFT market dumped and failed. Meta kind of went down with it for a while, you know.
Okay.
And that's kind of what happened. But again, AI then happened and like things started taking off a little bit more. Look at the NASDAQ start to run here, though. I'm checking breaking news here, but look at the NASDAQ start to bounce back here. So we are seeing some rebounds right now in the NQ. Iranian sources say preparations for U.S.-Iran negotiations make a breakthrough tonight or tomorrow, according to CCTV. And so this news is currently boosting markets right now. Again, just to put this up here, this is what's boosting markets right now. Defense Department says forces intercepted and boarded sanctioned stateless tanker Majestic X in the Indian Ocean carrying Iranian oil. But again, U.S.-Iran talks in Pakistan. Let me post this one more time so I can put it up on the screen. But this is, oh crap, I forgot to pop the chat out. But yeah, Iran-U.S. talks in Pakistan may see a big breakthrough in preparations tonight or tomorrow, according to Iranian diplomatic sources. So again, here it is. That news, this news right here, if you look at it, is what is really boosting things. NASDAQ starting to get optimistic about another deal done. And I think if we actually get a confirmed deal, my issue is that none of it has been confirmed. But obviously, if we get a confirmed deal, markets are going to be happy. And look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ back over 27,000 on this catalyst here. So again, we covered this as soon as it dropped. Look at the volume spike we're seeing now on this. NASDAQ is running back up. I'm sure oil's coming down with it. Yeah, oil's starting to fade back down. Previous closing price on oil is at 92.80s for WTI crude. So, yeah, that's the breaking news that just happened. Again, and this is Iranian diplomatic sources are saying this. This is their sources saying that we could make a breakthrough tonight or tomorrow. So
awesome. It's a lot better when you hear it from that side first.
Right. No, exactly.
Wasn't one of our poll questions if the NASDAQ would break 27,000 by the end of the year?
Yeah, well, one of my YouTube poll questions was, does the NASDAQ break 27K this year? And I think it ended, the poll ended, we had a couple hundred votes. Let me see, we got, yeah, like we did get, hold on, let me see this, hold on. Yeah, like, look, we got pretty much 50-50 split down the middle on this post. We got 51% say yes, it does, 49% say no, it doesn't. And this was out of like almost 400 votes. So most people say yes, but it's pretty split down the middle.
Okay.
Yeah, we did a poll this morning here, and we asked, are you bullish or bearish today, guys? Are you bullish or bearish? Also, guys, are y'all red or green so far this week? Let me know. Are you red or green this week? Let me know in chat right now. Red or green. Put it out. Let me know. Are you red or green right now?
I said bullish, but I think I was wrong. It looks like I was wrong anyway.
You said bullish yesterday?
Today.
I see green, 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 green. I don't know what that is, but green, green, red, green, barely green, gray. I like gray. Green, barely green, green. I'm up 2% this week. Red in timeout. Sit there and think about what you've done, bro. Green. Everybody's green this week, dude. Everybody's green. That's good. I'm pretty sure I'm green in stocks. Like, I'm pretty sure my stocks are green. It's kind of hard not to be green in stocks this week, I think. But in day trading, I think I'm kind of flat right now. But yeah, look at the NASDAQ jump up on this catalyst here. Again, a potential breakthrough in a deal maybe happening over the next few days. I think this weekend will get really interesting. If we don't get a deal done over the weekend, is anybody red? Let me know. Is anybody red? No one ever loses here? Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is anybody red? I'm red day trading, I think, this week. I know everybody acts like they're always green and they're always up. But, yeah, I'm actually kind of red day trading. I think I'm definitely green in stocks.
Oh, you've been sick, Yeah,
I blame that for sure. Maddie has beaten me 3 times in a row at ping pong, too.
What?
And I told her. Yeah, I know. It's a crazy occurrence. But I think I think I've been sick for the last 2 days. Like my nose has stopped up. I've been sneezing.
Maybe, but maybe the torch has been passed,
No, dude, I can't accept that. No. My reaction time is just slower now, is what it is. I'm slower. My nose has stopped up, so my breathing is off. You know what I mean? It's definitely not a skill issue. It's just, that's
you should go train with the great ping pong masters and come back and smoke her.
Right. I'm going to change my name to Johnny Daytona, Yeah. Maybe it's time to hand her the portfolio. Maybe it is, bro. Maybe it is. No, it's definitely not allergies. Basically, my whole family's gotten what I've had. Again, Lebanese Prime Minister says Lebanon cannot sign any agreement that does not include a full withdrawal of Israeli force, according to Al Jazeera, citing sources on X. Preparations for Iran-U.S. negotiations may make a breakthrough tonight or tomorrow. Again, that is the big breaking news right now. NASDAQ is pushing up, S&P pushing up.
At least they're willing to discuss it, because honestly, I didn't even expect that.
Yeah, I think it's optimistic. Just markets are reacting, pretty favorably to it, just because it's on their side. So if it's on their side, generally they hold their cards pretty close to their chest, until the very end, when a deal's basically done, right? So I think the fact that we're seeing them at least confirm that maybe we make a breakthrough here, and again, they're also kind of scattered. And so who knows who's saying this? They didn't really, the only issue I have with this is that they didn't really say who this is. Right? They said specifically CCTV said it, which is good. And then the other one was labeled an Iranian diplomatic source, right? So who knows who the hell that is, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, from what I understand, you have multiple conflicting leadership fronts in Iran right now. So like you said, who knows how certain it actually is.
Right, exactly. And again, the NASDAQ is up to 27,040. So the NASDAQ's still reacting really well to this. But again, this is a news-driven market. This is what markets have been doing for the last 2 months now. Yeah. Read on long-term bonds for 2 years?
Some dude on the street in Iran.
Wait, so are you... Yeah. Like a cafe owner in Iran, they asked him.
Yeah, just ask a random citizen, will you negotiate for peace? Absolutely.
I'll do it. Yeah, so somebody said I'm read for 2 years on TLT. So are you buying TLT? So if you're buying TLT, you're basically betting on lower interest rates, which I'm not even mad about. I was talking to somebody else about this, but if I think especially almost exactly 2 years ago, a lot of people thought we were going to have lower interest rates than we do now. So I'm assuming you're buying TLT, but yeah, green. I was green on TLT for a few months, but gave up on it. Cut cycle was affected too much by the conflict. Yeah, no, 100%. Remember, yields and bond prices inverse each other, right? So if TLT goes up, that means yields are going down. This is bond prices, right? These are bond prices. These are not yields. These are longer term bond prices for TLT. Just so everybody everybody at home understands what we're actually talking about here. These are longer term bond prices. And so if yields are going down, that means lower interest rate sentiment. That means TLT is going to be going up, right? So somebody going long on TLT would basically mean that they are betting on lower interest rates. Just to give you guys the logic of it. Remember, bonds and yields, bond prices and bond yields inverse each other. And yields and interest rate sentiment follow each other, right? So if yields go down, TLT would go up, and that means yields going down means lower interest rate sentiment, the market pricing in lower rates. TLT sitting at 86s right now, 86s. But yeah, the NASDAQ is still climbing up pretty strong here on this news. Again, the news is right here. You can read it right there. This is the news pushing markets up right now. Yeah. We're still heading up. Now, the question is, do we break all-time highs today, chat? All-time highs are really not that far away. They're at 27,136 on NASDAQ futures. 27,000. Here is all-time highs. So that is all-time highs on the NASDAQ. And we are here. So we're getting pretty close to all-time highs on the NQ. Do we break all-time highs today? Let me know. Yes or no in chat. Put it up there. I'm going to have the chat working today. Y'all are going to be typing every 3 seconds. I'm going to ask you guys a different question and expect you to participate every 3 seconds. For sure, we do break all-time highs. QS is skyrocketing. I was a table tennis pro. Was a Croatian junior national team when I was 16 years old. Also, my neighbor here in Croatia moved to Houston 20 years ago. I'll be there probably next year. Okay, so I got some work I got to do before you get here. I feel like I could beat you, just because I'm naturally gifted at ping pong. But I got a year, okay? I got a year. Give me a year, Like I said, I'm going to be like Forrest Gump, dude.
Yeah, John is to table tennis what BJ Penn was to MMA.
That's jiu-jitsu. Right. They call me the prodigy, the 30-something-year-old prodigy, they call me.
Wunderkind, huh?
That's right. The Wonder Kid. Look, we're up to 27,040. We're not that far away. The S&P lagging a little bit here. We're up to 7150s here, 7150s. Stream it. It feels like markets are delusional on indices. USA has seized another tanker linked to Iran smuggling. Yeah, I did see that news. That's what made oil go up slightly. Again, if you're just now joining us, let me recap. All right. So yesterday, And at about 8 o'clock market time, this happened. And I was staring at this like, what the hell is going on? You know, something's going on. I was like, what is going on here? We got news that, again, we're going to recap this, but we got news that that explosions were heard around Iran. And so algorithms, markets immediately assumed that strikes were back on, right? Like, this is what happened. Algorithms immediately assumed strikes are back on. Traders generally assumed strikes were back on. And then, hold on, let me find it. I'm trying to make sure I get this right. And then they basically said it was just military exercises. Iran came out saying it was just military exercises. This reversed all the way back down. So we came all the way back down here. We're still elevated versus where we were on the news of seizing the 3 tankers here. So we're still elevated versus where we were. But it was just testing. It was, exercises. They said military exercises. And so we came right back down here, right back down. And now we are sitting, again, we're sitting back down here. Part of this news is about the potential breakthrough news. Again, if you look at the comment I posted here, this is the news pushing things. This is where we're at now. We're at $93. So we are back basically flat on the day for oil.
So the first couple of tankers they seized, I believe, were Greek in origin. Do we have any idea where these latest 3 ships came from, or what their origin was?
Let me check. I'm pretty sure they were Iran linked in one way or another. But
okay.
Yeah, I'm checking this right now.
Let's see. I thought you were known as the day trading savant. Well, listen, John is a man who wears many hats. Okay, so he's also the day trading savant.
I'm a multiple savant. You know, I'm a multi savant. That's what they made me in high school.
He's what you call a polymath.
That's right. You know, I'm just gifted at everything. Everything I try. You know, I P excellence, guys. Is what I'm saying. You know. But no. We'll see what happens, guys. Is it time to buy right now? Is it time to buy? That's my real question for the chat. Is it time to buy?
I don't know.
Yeah, John, the top threes. Yeah, what I'm seeing right now is that it was the MSC Francesca, which is a Panamanian flagged MSC operated. It was seized, escorted to Iranian coast. The IRGC claimed it was linked to Israel without evidence. We also had the Epaminondas, a Liberian flagged one, seized, escorted to Iranian coast. Both ships were accused of operating without authorization and tampering with navigation systems. And then there was a Greek-owned one called the Euphoria. It was fired upon by an IRGC boat. Heavy damage to the bridge. It's now stranded on Iranian shores.
So Greek, and you said Liberian, and what was the other one?
The other one was a Panamanian one.
Okay.
So, yeah, is it time to buy, guys? Is it time to buy? I see buy, yes, no.
But yeah, I think I heard about that. I think they said they like switched transponders or something like that to try to disguise their identity.
Right, it was something like that, you know. What is the news source? Well, we're looking up a couple different sources here, but again, software rate showed up at 3.64%. Netflix bidding on a repossessed LA studio for peanuts. I did see some recent news that was just ported. Who is this? So I'm showing some news that just came out that there is no talk or decision so far in Iran regarding participation in a round of negotiations with Washington, and the dispute remains unresolved concerning the port blockade. In my estimation, continuing the debate around the port blockade may push the Iranians to reconsider negotiations, withdraw the nuclear issue, and limit it to solely stopping the war. End quote. I don't know. Let me see who posted this. Nuruddin. So Al Jazeera Media Network bureau chief reported that. So again, it's back and forth. Who knows what's really gonna happen here? Like, who knows what's really gonna happen? It's one of those situations where we don't really know who we're talking to. You know, we don't really know who is saying these things, and they leave it kind of vague. Lebanese prime minister again said Lebanon cannot sign any agreement that does not include a full withdrawal of Israeli force, and so markets could reverse on this news, but they're still pushing up here. Again, my issue with this, I'll say it again, guys. My issue with this is, and look at the NASDAQ still push. My issue with this is who is actually saying that a breakthrough could occur soon. You know, all they said, one of them was labeled CCTV. The other one was labeled an Iranian diplomatic source. You know,
You're worried it might be disinformation,
I,
maybe.
I don't know, man. I think it could. I think both sides want to put public pressure. You know, our side obviously wants easing of tensions. Their side wants public pressure from the tensions. And so
and the PR war is a legitimate part of this.
No, 100%. They're back and forth. And historically, you know, both sides will kind of deny it until, especially the side in the Middle East, until it's virtually done. And so, but markets are pricing it optimistic here. So markets are pricing it as optimistic.
Someone says, "Trust me, bro." News network.
The Trust Me Bro News.
Yeah,
that's me.
Actually, that'd be a cool name to give to a burgeoning news network.
Yeah, well, it's like one of the things that we've seen is we've seen all these names come out like regarding everything. What I will tell all the other streamers out there is, bro, y'all need to pick a better freaking name. You know, like everybody, like all the names coming out there for trader YouTube channels right now. It's like if I like purple hats, purple hat trader. You know, like Nike shorts trader. You know,
it's like the first thing that popped into their head or something.
Right, like I like Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprout trading, guys. That's actually not a bad one. I might go with that. You know, but the point is, be better, guys. Be more creative here. You know, like I got a gray mug trading, guys. Gray mug trading. Trust me, bro. I would name it Trust Me, Bro.
I would too. That's what I'm saying. I thought it was legitimately kind of funny, and because of that, it would actually maybe work.
Yeah, no, 100%. If it makes people pay attention, it works. Thoughts on private credit, John? Market seems to be shaking off a lot of the FUD, but we're continuing to see private credit break, according to Ox here. Yeah, I mean, look, private credit's definitely a risk. But in the heat of the conflict's taking center stage. So private credit's obviously risky. It's, you know, again, just to put this into perspective, private credit, I'll go deeper into it. I'll explain it real quick. Private credit basically spawned from 2007, 2008. In 2007, 2008, you had all the mortgage disaster. After that, they got a lot more stringent with banks in terms of loans they could give out and stuff like that. And so this other market popped up from it called private credit. It's basically allowing people to fund deals for companies with, like without using banks necessarily. But the banks are still involved in it, but it's just kind of this other market sprouted out. The software slump that we're seeing now, and here's ServiceNow. ServiceNow, it did react really negative to their earnings, even though they beat EPS revenue and raised guidance, but they're still worried. They blame the Iran conflict, but I think markets are still pricing in software slumps from AI, and that's negatively affecting them. But anyways, the point is, these private credit organizations, you know, were getting hit so hard from withdrawals, people getting nervous about the software apocalypse, and so they were getting hit so hard with withdrawals that they've actually, you know, restricted withdrawals in a lot of ways, and this is freaking people out. Basically, that's like the private credit issue in a nutshell. And you know, again, if you want to see what's going to happen, it's associated with software, like the software issues, because you got to think about it. Companies are investing in software companies, right? If those software companies start to fail, you know, it threatens the whole thing, and so you want to pay attention to software. Point is.
Does the practice of stopping withdrawals, does that practice predate 1929, or was that because of 1929?
I'm not sure. Okay, to be honest. Yeah, is it time to short? I don't know. So real quick, hold on, real quick. We did get breaking news here. Pakistan official blames U.S. blockade, not the Iran divisions, for stalled talks. Trump extends ceasefire indefinitely, citing fractured Tehran leadership. So that news just came out. Again, a Pakistan official blames the U.S. blockade, not Iran divisions, for stalling talks, citing fractured Tehran leadership. So basically saying our leadership isn't, you know, our leadership isn't good enough right now. Right, it isn't cohesive. Yeah, that's the word I was thinking of to really meet with you guys right now. We'll see. We'll see. I thought about changing my channel name. I might do it eventually. I might just change it to my name, really. But we'll see later down the line. All right, guys, we got 25 minutes until jobless claims unemployment comes out. Jobless claims is expected to show up at Jobless claims is expected to show up at 211. Last time it showed up at 207. It was lower than expected, showing more optimism than expected. We also have manufacturing and services data at 945. So we got some economic reports coming out. The manufacturing and services data is from April. So it's recent data for manufacturing and services. It drops at 945. Jobless claims comes out at 830. It's expected at 211. We also have the Chicago Fed National Activity Index dropping at the same time. We got Canadian data as well, the IPPI, so inflation data for the land of Canada, also dropping at the same period of time. And yeah, tomorrow we got Michigan consumer sentiment data, but next week is really the busy week, dude. We got so much stuff to cover next week. I'm not going to stream Intel earnings tonight. Never felt more like a casino. Yeah, again, the NASDAQ, let's take a look at oil here. Oil just dumped under something, so something just happened over the last minute here. Look at oil fall. Let's check breaking news here. It could be that news I just showed, but Pakistan proposal to open the Strait of Hormuz in exchange for partial lifting of sanctions on Iran is the news. It doesn't really give any other information here, but this is the news that I think is probably making oil drop like it did. It kind of retraced right back up, but this is the news right here that I think is making markets react. So we'll see. Yeah, jobs data should be okay. We'll see. Last time it was pretty good.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what does the chat think? You guys think it'll come in over or under or right on target?
Yeah, higher or lower jobless claims today, guys. We got 20 plus minutes left, but higher or lower claims today. What do you guys think? Higher claims is weaker for jobs. Lower claims is better, just to clarify.
I'm going to bet coming in under again.
Yeah, I mean, it's potential, you know.
Yeah.
Almost back to where we started before. Yeah, it's just been back and forth here, man. We got to keep monitoring this. All right, so I asked people higher or lower, green, lower, lower, higher, lower, lower. Most people are saying lower, stronger jobs. If we look at the ADP data, right? The ADP data, I think we get the monthly ADP report next week. I might be wrong. Let me check this. But I think next week we get the monthly ADP report. But the ADP data has been strong for jobs. If we look at the jobs data that we got from ADP Tuesday, it was much stronger than this. So it's like 50,000 jobs, if I remember correctly here. And yeah, next Wednesday we get the ADP report. Or maybe we don't. I'm wrong, guys. Next week it's still weekly. But yeah, last weekly one was 55,000 jobs average gained a week. That's 200,000 jobs averaging a month, because this is the weekly employment report. So that'd be 55,000 a week, which would be over 200K a month. It's been a while since we had an over 200,000 NFP report. And ADP has less need to lie about the jobs data as well. You know, they don't have the BLS bias, I guess is what it is. BLS has a bias for jobs that we see a lot. And, you know, the last BLS report was during Good Friday, so most markets were closed anyway, you know.
Looks like the next monthly report comes out on May 6th.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, so that's not next week, but the week after. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. Actually, yeah, you're right. You're actually correct. That's in 2 weeks from now.
Yeah. I know stuff.
Yeah, well, you do.
To be precise.
Perplexity did that.
Stuff. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Jobless claims is going to be huge. I don't know.
Yep. But for my ego, I need all you guys to pretend that I knew it.
I know. Listen, dude, that's basically my job here. You know, it's just to pretend like you know stuff. Yeah. Applied Digital just jumped 10%. Yeah, we did have earnings today, guys. Nothing crazy this morning, but we did have Nokia. They came in basically flat for earnings. They actually missed revenue though. Lockheed Martin, LMT. You know, Lockheed Martin reacted negatively. They missed EPS, missed revenue, so they missed EPS and revenue. American Airlines still came in at a loss per share, but they did better than they expected. A 45-cent loss. They only showed 40 cents, and they showed up better than expected for revenue. Amex posted a beat in EPS and a beat in revenue. We had Keurig Dr. Pepper. They beat EPS and revenue. Dow beat EPS and revenue as well. Honeywell beat EPS, missed revenue. And some other ones here. The big one next week, guys. So just to understand, like, the biggest, Intel is this evening. Again, I'm probably not going to stream this. It's just not quite big enough for me. I usually just stick with Mag 7. But next Wednesday, guys, is going to be a freaking ridiculous day. A ridiculous day next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, we have the Fed meeting. We have SoFi earnings, Humana earnings in the morning. And then in the evening after the Fed meeting, we have Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, Google, Ford, QCOM, Carvana, and more, all around the same period of time, all within like 20 minutes of each other releasing here. So next Wednesday is going to be interesting.
What's SoFi?
SoFi, it stands for social finance. Hold on, NASDAQ is still jumping up here. So yeah, it's like a small lending company.
Okay.
It also, I think, does like credit building and stuff like that. It stands for social finance.
Okay.
Yeah, so again, we're still watching the breaking news, but... Okay, so Al Arabia's correspondent to Islamabad said Pakistan is optimistic about ideas being proposed to resume negotiations. I don't know if again, Pakistan proposal to open the Strait of Hormuz in exchange for partial lifting of sanctions on Iran. They blame the U.S. blockade, not the Iran divisions, for stalled talks, citing fractured leadership there. Again, but there's a Pakistani proposal to open the strait in exchange for partial lifting of the blockade on Iran.
That would be nice, but personally, I don't think that's going to happen until Iranian leadership is more solidified.
Right, for sure. And basically what they're saying is like, hey, bro, you open the strait, we'll open the strait. You know,
yeah.
Like you stop blockading our ships, we'll let you through. The problem is, do you trust this? Right? That's the real thing. Like, do you trust them to, you know, actually do it? Because what happened is like, both sides came out and were like, hey, we got a ceasefire. It was like a 2-week ceasefire or whatever, from basically a deal getting done. And the Strait of Hormuz was announced open. This was like, what, a week ago? Literally the next morning, the headline was Strait of Hormuz is closed again. You know, so the question is, even if we do, you know, is it really going to be open? Bitcoin just taking a breather. Yeah, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin at 77,000. It's still doing pretty good. It's close to 80. You know, I think as long as it can hold over 70, that's an optimistic thing for Bitcoin. Bitcoin just kind of follows macro markets, or sometimes macro markets follow Bitcoin.
I need to get you more educated on the stock market. Well, that's why I'm here. You know,
yeah,
you're not wrong, but that's why I'm asking the questions.
Yeah. Yeah, and look, the Nasdaq's getting really close to all-time highs. Oil is now technically red on the day, so oil is red now. So we'll see what happens. We have 15 minutes until jobless claims unemployment filings go live here. We'll see what we get today. But 15 minutes until jobless claims come out. I like Bitcoin, personally. I mean, I think it's a long-term thing versus short-term, but I like it. Iran still has enriched uranium. They can actually redefine.
I didn't really see the numbers. Where's Bitcoin at?
Bitcoin's at 78K. 78,000. Okay.
Hey, I appreciate it. I like you guys, too.
Yeah.
And I'm always down to learn, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, the weekend's going to get really interesting for markets just because this dynamic of will a deal get done this weekend now is here. Markets are really kind of brushing off a lot of this stuff, though, and we didn't really get super positive reactions to earnings, though, so most of this is just renewed optimistic, you know, sentiment regarding talks here. So the Pakistan idea of, you know, if we get rid of the blockade, they'll open the Strait of Hormuz is what's driving this, and that there's optimism a real breakthrough could happen. But yeah, we're at 27,058 right now. Yeah, join our Discord. There it is right there. You can hang out with us.
Yeah, I just think until there's a clear-cut leadership cast and we know for certain who's in charge, we're not going to agree to any lifting of sanctions. I might be wrong. You know, you never know. But
yeah, and we're probably going to keep that blockade there for a while just to confirm. Even if we're not actually blockading, you know, we're going to keep it. We're going to keep it around the area, even if they say, hey, the strait is open, just to ensure it. At least I would assume they verify. Right. But yeah, a Pakistani official to Al Arabia envoy says cautious optimism and ongoing communications, but Iran's response has not yet arrived. End quote. And with that said, you can see the NASDAQ coming down. So they're optimistic, but they haven't really gotten a response back from Iran. But Pakistan is optimistic about ideas being proposed to resume negotiations. And shout out to Pakistan, bro. They've been trying to mediate this whole thing, you know?
Yeah, dude, they're working harder than anybody.
They really are, dude. They really are. Shout out to Pakistan. Again, we're at 2740s right now, 2740s. Again, Tesla dumped on earnings. And this is what I always try to tell people is it doesn't matter. Like, people assume you can wait and just wait for a company to beat EPS, beat revenue, you know, raise guidance or whatever and go up. That's not necessarily true. You know, ServiceNow beat EPS, revenue, and guidance. It's down like 10% plus. It's down over 10% at this point in time, around 10%. So, yeah. Companies can beat EPS, revenue, raise guidance, and still fall 10%. It's not people gambling on earnings. I always try to warn against this. Netflix is up big on the day. It's at 94s. I think they're trying to buy up some type of plot or in Cali for something. But yeah, again, cautious optimism and ongoing communication, but Iran's response has not yet arrived. Is the most recent news that we got here. Yeah, hit the like button, guys. Hit the notification bell. Yeah, market is moving forward. Yeah. Tesla's going to spend a lot of money going forward. Yeah, no, I mean, AI is going to keep driving higher here.
Yeah, smash the like, join the Discord, all that stuff. We need it. Do us the favor. We appreciate it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I'm not saying Pakistan's, you know, I'm partially joking. Yeah, I got to pay the like tax, that's right. So yeah, I'm partially joking. Obviously, it's in their own best interest for the stand, you know. Yeah. And so of course they're going to be working hard to, you know. We got 156. Let's do 200. 200. Again, I keep seeing the same news source keep continuing to be shared, but
so Claude AI thinks 222,000 on jobless claims.
Does it? Where's the Claude AI guy? Who usually posts this? I think it was wrong last time.
This is from Niels from the Netherlands.
What's up, Niels? Yeah, do 250. Really, we got about 1,100 here. Again, market opens jobless claims numbers in about 12 minutes. 12 minutes, a little bit less than that now. Worst case scenario, oil goes to 300. Dude, if oil goes to 300,
no,
it's gonna be a shit show, dude. If oil goes to 300, I don't think it's ever gonna hit that. Not anytime soon. Maybe in 30 years from inflation or whatever, but not right now.
No, I mean at those rates, you'd see hyperinflation. I think that the entire the world economy would
crash.
100%.
100%. Should be 1,000 likes. Yeah, listen, do it now, guys. Do it now. We have 10 minutes left until jobless claims. About 10 minutes. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it. It is mostly quite accurate. Yeah, I like Claude a lot, honestly. Claude is not accurate. I'll tell you where Claude gets stuff wrong. Claude gets a lot of stuff wrong in terms of timing and dates. So I can say, hey, dude, hey, Claude, give me a lot of the news that just happened. And Claude might feed me 3-day-old news. Claude might think it was still yesterday when I talked to it last. And so every day before I get Claude to send me anything, I'm like, yo, remember, Claude, today is Thursday, you know, April 23rd. You know what I mean? It is currently 7:20 p.m. market time. Get it right, bro. Because if I don't, it'll feed me old news from yesterday. And so you got to just make sure to give it better context. All right, guys, 10 minutes left. 10 minutes. Yeah, market's so focused on the Iran war. I mean, again, maybe we make a big move. I don't know. You trust an NLM algo? Not really. I don't trust it 100%. I use it. I use the tools I have available to me.
We want jobless up or down to benefit crypto?
To benefit crypto, it depends on what the market wants right now. Crypto is generally going to move with markets. I would say in general, higher, stronger claims might make people optimistic. Although right now in the context of the Iran conflict, you know, stronger claims might make people less worried about inflation potentially if the labor market's coming down, or if we get stronger job numbers. When I say stronger claims, I mean higher unemployment claims. If we get stronger job numbers, it might make people nervous because of inflation that we could potentially get from it. And so, yeah, it might make people nervous. And so the reality of it is we don't know what the market wants right now. If claims are higher, it means weaker jobs, which means more justification and rate cuts. And to a certain extent, Bitcoin wants rate cuts. If claims are lower, that means less people filing for unemployment, stronger jobs numbers, and less argument for rate cuts. And so it's kind of up in the air here. Oil is technically back green on the day, and the NASDAQ is starting to pull back some here after we got no confirmation from Iran about the optimism that Pakistan was saying earlier here. So yeah. So let's see, guys. Again, jobless claims drop in 9 minutes here. 9 minutes. Hit the like button next to the play button. Put it in 2x speed, guys. I appreciate the love. We'll see how much this moves markets. It's been a quiet couple weeks for economic reports, to be honest. Like, we had PPI last week on Tuesday. At this point, it's been a week plus with no economic data, really. So jobless claims might move things a little bit more than if the data was packed. But the real market catalysts start next week. Again, Fed meeting. We got Google, Meta, Microsoft earnings and more. Same day as the Fed meeting. We have GDP and PCE data on Thursday for March. This is March data. So it includes this conflict. So we'll see. And PCE is what the Fed uses to guide it. So PCE inflation next Thursday will be interesting as well. And we'll see what happens here, guys. We'll see what happens. But jobless claims down, you think?
That's what I think. But
maybe.
I tend to be an optimist.
Last time they were down. Last time jobless claims ended up showing up at 207,000 previously. This time they're expected about 210. So 207 is what they showed up last time. This time they're expected about 210. We'll see what they look like.
Yep, that'll go down in history as the first time I was right.
That would be the first time I've ever seen you be correct. That's true.
It'll be noted in the annals of history, you know?
It's definitely an anomaly here, bro. It's definitely an anomaly. You know what I mean? Like, you being right about this is definitely a freaking anomaly.
I appreciate your faith, John. It just warms my heart.
I'm here, bro. I'm here, dude. You know? You know.
Yeah.
All nuclear stocks are going up. Yeah, I mean, I think you also got to understand some of this stuff. You can't take what both sides are saying at face value. You got to understand the bias that both sides have. It's a perception war is what this is, you know? So, like, you got to understand what both sides are saying and not take anything. Like, if you take just what Iran's saying, like, literally, like, it's absolutely true, of course you might be like, yeah, you know? But the reality of it is both sides are embellishing things.
I think the best thing you can do is listen to both sides, and somewhere in the middle is the truth, you know?
Right, for sure. That's what I always tell people. It's like the reality of this conflict is somewhere in the middle here, you know? Who's ready for a false jobs report? Cannabis declassification news? We'll talk about that later. I got to cover the jobs report. Y'all were just trying to throw me off. As early as Wednesday next week, though, or maybe yesterday. I thought they already did this.
What?
They rescheduled it. I thought they already did that. Anyways.
Yeah.
We love cook numbers. Yeah, we'll see what the numbers show up as. Here's the NASDAQ here. I'll put oil up so we can watch both. Here's oil on the right side. Here's the NASDAQ on the left. We're at 93s now. But yeah, the data drops in about 6 minutes here. We'll see what we get, you know. Since jobless claims were a beat last time, I'm guessing a miss this time. They'll find errors in the data. We'll see if they revise the previous one. Yeah, again, a reclassification of cannabis doesn't actually mean anything, to be honest.
No, it just changes the penalty.
Yeah. It doesn't mean anything. Yeah, Bitcoin almost back up to 77,800s. But the big story is the Middle Eastern conflict news that we've seen. All right, guys, here we go. 5 minutes. Again, Pakistan official Al Ariba says cautious optimism and ongoing communication, but Iran's response has not yet arrived. So this news is just dropping here. So this news is really... This news right here is what's been driving it. But oil is technically red on the day. If I can put this up. Here's the previous closing price on oil. We're almost exactly at that level. So actually, we're technically green on oil right now for WTI crude. The NASDAQ is red, though. But, Yeah, here we go. Again, 4 minutes left. Chat, 4 minutes.
How are gold and silver trending right now? Where are they at?
Gold right now is at 47.50, so it opened up red kind of with the rest of the market, but it started to pop back higher here. It's really been kind of whippy. I think silver was down pretty substantially this morning, if I remember correctly, from some headlines that I saw. But it basically bounced right back. So yeah, silver, it's almost flat on the day. It was at 74s. It's now at 76, almost 77s for silver. Cool. So it's back up there. But the question is this a dip buy on the NASDAQ right now? We have 3 minutes left. Again, we're kind of flat. Markets are kind of just waiting for this, I think, here. So, you know, we'll see what happens. But markets are just kind of nervous. And again, the big story is obviously Tesla dumping like it did. So, we'll see what we get. But the data drops in 3 minutes. 3 minutes. ServiceNow, again, software slump freaking people out. It's Iran.
From what I know, that's correct. That's how I say it.
Yeah, I try to say it right. Sometimes I'll say Iran, but yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens, guys. Again, I don't know how much this report's gonna move things. We'll see. We got 2 minutes left. Will be the biggest all-time highs for stocks in centuries. Yeah, maybe. I mean, we've been breaking all-time highs in the NASDAQ. Dow has been a little bit weak though. All right, 2 minutes, chat. 2 minutes. Here we go. I'm going to put it in sub-only mode as well, guys. So subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Do it now. Announce yourself. Show us you're subscribed here, guys. Show us you're subscribed. Again, we have 2 minutes left. 2 minutes. Again, higher jobless claims is weaker jobs. It means more people filing for unemployment. Lower jobless claims is stronger jobs. It means less people filing for unemployment. That's the dynamic of this jobs report today. So again, higher is weaker jobs. Lower is stronger jobs. Hey, shout out to all my guys here that subbed. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ron. Yeah, here we go. We got about 1 minute and 10 seconds left. Hit the live button next to the play button. Put it in 2x speed. Hey, thank you, Heirloom. Best streamer. Top 3 worst ever, though, for sure. Hey, let's see where NVIDIA is here, though. Here's NVIDIA. NVIDIA's still over 200s. What's up, Woot? I appreciate the support. Thank you. All right, guys, here we go. We have 45 seconds left. Chat, 45 seconds. Again, jobless claims expected at 211. We'll see what we get. Here we go. Hit the live button next to the play button. Put it in 2x speed. We got less than 30. Here we go. 15 seconds. 15 seconds. Hit the live button next to the play button.
Suspense music going.
Yeah, put it in 2x speed, guys. Put it in 2x speed. Make sure you caught up. Here we go. Here's the data release. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And here's the report. It showed up at Chicago Fed at 214, higher than expected. 214, higher than expected jobless claims numbers here. So if we take a look at oil, it showed up at 214 versus 211 expected. They also revised the last one up a little bit to 208 versus I think 207 was what it showed up. So they did revise the last one up some. So again, 208 versus 207 previously. So higher claims, more people filing for unemployment than expected. Continuing claims also increased to 1.821 million here on the jobless claims report. So continuing claims did spike up again to 1.821 million versus an expected number of 1.82 expected. They did revise continuing claims down a little bit, but again, initial claims higher than expected, 214 versus 211. They revised the previous one up slightly. It was 207 previously. It's now 208,000. So
not bad. I mean, it's not great.
It's higher than expected, though. It's weaker than expected claims data.
Yeah.
Weaker for jobs. If we take a look at yields, one of the things that you can watch for this here in terms of interest rate sentiment is yields. So interest rate sentiment in regards to yields is one of the things you can watch to see where interest rate sentiment is. Here's 10-year treasury yields. You can see 10-year yields are moving slightly down from this report. Let's take a look at 2-year yields.
And PayPal says about to be 214,001.
Yeah, it's a pretty flat report, to be honest here. So it's not like a crazy big report. It's pretty flat, all things considered. Yields are dipping a little bit on higher claims, and markets are actually pushing up a little bit. Oil's down. Look at the NASDAQ rip. Look at oil dip here. And so we'll see what happens now, but...
So maybe they weren't bad enough to negatively affect.
Yeah, the NASDAQ's jumping right now here. So, yeah, they could be mostly flat. I'm looking at other news to see, make sure we don't have anything big coming out. But yeah, jobless claims did show up. 214. They expected 210. Higher claims. Higher continuing claims as well. But here's the data right here in chat. I'll put this up on screen for anybody that didn't catch it. But this is the data right here. And we'll see what we get for this. We'll see what we get. Again, data came in higher than expected. Only slightly, though. And the NASDAQ is up. Oil is down. Next data release we have today, guys, is services and manufacturing PMI at 945. And this is April data. Just to clarify. Is this bullish or bearish, guys? Let me know in chat right now. Is this bull or bear? Let me know. But, yeah, I don't know here. I don't know whether I want to trust the market right now or not. But is it bullish, you say? NASDAQ, because sometimes the first move is the wrong move. Maddie beat me at ping pong again, but it's only because I'm sick right now. My reaction time's slow. My nose is stopped up. You know, I can't breathe as well. I've been coughing. I've been sick. I'm slow. I got a headache. And that's the only reason she won. You know, when I'm healed, you know, you'll see my true skills show up. Yeah, I love you. Have a good day. Oil, guys, is at 92.80s here. 92.80s for oil. So let's see what happens with the NASDAQ here, guys. Let's see what happens. NASDAQ, again, it reacted positively to it. We'll see if this holds. I'm also looking at other breaking news, though. So we had Canadian data. One of the things that showed up was the Chicago Fed National Activity Index showed up at -20. So, yeah, unemployment claims did rise.
Old.
Huh?
Someone said, don't forget you're old.
I'm definitely old, bro. I blame my age, too. Hey, dude. How you doing, bro? Jack knows how good I am at ping pong. Jack, I'm a great ping pong player, huh? No, bro, get out of here. Stop trying to make a deal, bro. Get out of here, dude. Wow. My son just
Let's
left.
make a deal.
He said, do I get video games during the week if I say you're good? And I said, no. He said, okay, you suck at ping pong, dude. How dare you suck, dude? Got me, bro. Got me. Yeah, let's see what the opening bell brings. But we are going to live trade the opening bell. Unemployment claims are up, guys. Unemployment claims are up. It wasn't a crazy move here. Yeah, dude, he got me. That man tried to take that opportunity. Can I have games during the week? No, dude.
No.
I can't. Nothing's free in my household, I guess, bro. I'm training him to be a true trader. You know, capitalism thriving over here.
Well, maybe unless he agrees to play Halo with us.
I don't want him to play. He's kind of a terrible
teammate.
Sport. Yeah. Yeah, again, NASDAQ now pulling back here. Oil's still dipping down, though. So, the jobless claims data is out. We did get jobless claims. It did show up higher than expected. Oil's slightly red on the day, but the NASDAQ is pulling back with it. Is it time to buy this dip right now? Guys, is it time to buy this dip here? Is it time to buy this dip? Yes or no? Put it up in chat right now. Dip buy, yes or no? Let me know in chat right now.
Do it. Do it now.
Yes, chat says yes. I'm going to buy it. I think I'm going to buy this. It looks okay. Now, granted, bad news can come out anytime here. But for the chat, you know, just to show everybody how good you guys are. I just bought it here, guys. It's tiny. It's a small trade, but we're in here. If I lose this trade, guys, y'all will never hear the end of it. Never hear the end of it. Yeah, if you keep buying, you never lose.
I've noticed you say that a lot. There's a lot of things they're never going to hear the end of.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Can't lose if you always buy. Who the heck knows? Are you sure? Hims is moving? Yeah, what I don't like is the 200 exponential is kind of a ways down here. You know, it's just from how steep this big pop up on the Middle Eastern news about Pakistan thinking a breakthrough could happen. But again, I'm going to add to this if it goes deeper in my favor here. So we are now green, chat. We are now green. Tantrum says no. I'll mark that. And so if we go up big, I'll remember you told me no. Tantrum. Got it in my head right now.
If you lose, it's Brit's fault. Dude,
I remember.
I'm totally the scapegoat.
We never forget, Brit. We never forget, you know.
Yeah, like an elephant.
That's right. I never forget, chat. I remember, what was it, 24,000? I remember 24,000 guys. Listen, y'all told me not to buy 24,000. I'm just going to pretend I would have held it all the way through today. I think I would have, honestly. I think I would have. You told me not to buy 24,000. We are at 27,000 right now, guys.
You could have been a cajillionaire if it wasn't for you guys.
I know, dude. Listen, I could be living, drinking margaritas on the beach right now. Instead, I listen to chat, and bad things happen.
Because of them, you're not living the life of Riley, huh?
That's right. You know.
Also, likes appear to be surging. Get us over 300 likes, you guys, please.
Do it now. Do it now. Yeah. If I look at, people are talking about Hims. Hims is popping up here. Hims is jumping up on some news here. What was the pun? Hims jumping up. Oh.
Never mind.
Yeah, so again, Hims just added full Lilly GLP-1, which is weight loss drugs, lineup to its platform. And so that's one of the things that happened here. Let me see. Hims is up 10% right now. I'll come back to this trade, guys. Here's Hims.
Okay, if you forgot to like, just don't forget to remember, you know?
Yeah. I just posted the news on Hims. Yeah, as of this morning, providers on our platform can now send prescriptions as well as Foundeo to the Lilly Direct Pharmacy. Yeah, Hims is up, dude. It's up a lot. We'll watch it. But yeah, it's jumping. I was in Hims. I got out whenever Novo came after them, and I'm still kind of like mad about it. Novo's like, hey, you know, we're gonna sue Hims. They're producing low quality weight loss drugs, copying us. We're gonna sue them. You know, Hims drops like 50%, and so I'm like, okay, it's time to get out of Hims, dude. You know, freaking Novo, huge company, they're coming after Hims. And then like a week later, this was like a week later, Novo actually pivots back and they're like, actually, you know what? No, we're not coming after Hims anymore. Hims immediately rebounds back up. I'm not going to say it's market manipulation, but you know, look at this. This all happened since February. I don't know if I'm just sick right now, Britt. I don't get the wordplay. I don't get it. I feel left out. I don't understand. John Big Papa Paper Hands. Dude, I'm definitely a paper hands, bro. If I had to label myself anything, it would be paper hands. I'm definitely not a diamond hands guy. You know? Are you a paper hands or a diamond hands in chat right now? Let me know. Paper or diamond hands? I think both sides have good arguments. I think paper hands are okay. You can be a paper hand. I sold my Hims last night. That's bad timing, my friend. That's bad timing. Diamond? QS is up. Yeah, that's bad timing, brother. That's bad timing. Eat real meat, eggs, fish. Yeah, I mean. Oh, okay. Never mind. I get it. They make ED drugs. Okay, I see. Yeah. They make a bunch of different stuff. They're pretty diversified. I think originally that's what they did. But yeah, I get it now.
Oh, just let me make the damn joke. I mean, darn joke. Sorry.
I'm sorry. How dare you curse on my stream, Britt? What the hell are you thinking about?
Well, I try not to. It's not professional, but sometimes I slip.
I think I'm probably the top 3 stream that curses the least on my stream. You know, you're welcome, guys. We got a family-friendly stream here.
That's the goal. We want you and your wife and your kids or whatever you have, everybody watching.
I mean, shit. We curse less than everybody, you know. I like to bring it to where I can curse on stream. I'd really love to be able to curse, honestly. At this point, you know, we got a family-friendly stream over here. I've built it. I've trapped myself in this box, Britt.
I will say it's helped me build my mindfulness, you know.
Yeah. How's the trade going? I'm completely flat right now, bro. I might actually add to it right here. You know what? We are adding to it. We're in 2 contracts. Applied Digital ripped on a deal. Yeah, I saw that. I saw the Applied Digital thing. HIMS is up big too. But yeah, Applied Digital, which is APLD. Let me see. They're getting $7.5 billion for 300 megawatts. So they announced a new US-based high investment grade hyperscaler tenant at Delta Forge 1 at 430 megawatts AI factory campus. New 15-year lease expands total contracted revenue to over $23 billion. I think they got rid of that rule, actually, Sam. I like that you don't. Yeah. I mean, I don't on stream. Yeah, markets are basically flat right now. I mean, I do sometimes. Again, jobless claims showed up lower than or higher than expected. There's such a big disconnect from the actual numbers here. And again, I like looking at ADP's numbers just because ADP is payroll processor. Like, they don't have the BLS bias. And so, and they process payroll, so a lot of people are going to say their data is more accurate anyway. You know, ADP showed strong jobs, so we are green here, guys. We are green. It's a very small green, but we're green nonetheless here, and I can probably hold this close to break even. Yeah, I mean, look, guys. Reality of it is, most of the markets are moving from Tesla and ServiceNow earnings. Will software continue to slump for the next year? How long will the software slump last, I guess, is the question that I have. Again, if you're just now tuning in here, we talked about this a lot this morning. ServiceNow reported earnings here. We'll come back to this. But ServiceNow reported earnings. All right, and this is a question I have for the chat regarding all of the stuff going on. ServiceNow killed it with their earnings. They did say they had a 75 basis point headwind from the Iran conflict. Basically, they were about to get big deals done there, and the Iran conflict pushed that back and made them drop the pin, so to speak. And so ServiceNow reacted really negatively to this. A lot of people think this is just software, though, creeping into, obviously, ServiceNow is one of those businesses that people are really nervous are going to get replaced by software. ServiceNow dipped. Tesla obviously did, but Microsoft fell almost simultaneously with ServiceNow here. You know, so here's a 15-minute chart on ServiceNow. Here's a 15-minute chart on Microsoft. So Microsoft did dump down from this as well here. And so the big question now at this point in time is, how long does this software slump last? Like, people are nervous AI is going to replace software.
Yeah, I mean, does it potentially not end? I mean, will it just get worse and worse as AI advances more and more?
I think it could. I also think there's, you know, obviously ServiceNow is adopting AI and using it for their business, as they definitely should. So is Adobe, right? But most people widely, one of the reasons this SaaS apocalypse is happening, the software as a service apocalypse is happening, is because people, right, in my opinion, rightfully so, assume that margins are going to be affected by this, and they're not really going to come back, so to speak. You know, so yeah, businesses can have things cheaper, but companies that sell these type of software services are going to, you know, they're going to make less money over time. And I think that's what's making people nervous. Even though their guidance was raised, even though they had good EPS, good revenue for now, they still dropped pretty big. And with that said, Microsoft is one of the big names in the software fear cycle. So ServiceNow, Microsoft dipping down here. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty small trade. I'll cut this if it doesn't go in my favor here. I mean, we're basically completely flat right now. So I'll give it a second. Gold is flying. Yeah. How long do y'all think the software apocalypse lasts? Yeah, gold is popping back up. Look at gold. Gold almost green on the day.
Where is it?
All right, so I asked people, how long does this last? Gold is currently at 47.50s, which is right around flat for the day. Again, guys, I didn't get any answers from the chat. How long is this software cycle of fear gonna last? That's the real question. Oh my goodness, dude. Whoa. Well, I just lost $200 here on
What?
something just happened here. Look at the NASDAQ dump right now, guys. What happened? Tandrum, you're a made man in here today. Tandrum, you're a made man. Something just happened here, guys. Some breaking news just happened here. Hold on. Something just dropped. Yeah, something just happened here. I got out of that trade. I'm out already. The Trump administration had advanced talks for Spirit Airlines rescue package. I don't think... No, that was yesterday. Something just happened geopolitically. I'm assuming here. Let's look at oil. Okay, there's the NASDAQ on the right. Oil spiking. NASDAQ's dipping here. I'm assuming this is Iran coming out saying that they're not meeting with us this weekend or something like that. But something just happened that dumped markets here, right? Something just happened that dumped markets. Bitcoin slumped, NASDAQ ripped, or NASDAQ dumped, oil popped. So this is geopolitically. Again, let me check Truth Social here, because it could be a Truth Social post. Yes. Okay, so this is the post that just happened. All right, so this is a Truth Social post. Trump said, quote, "I have ordered the United States Navy to shoot and kill any boat, small boats, though they may be, that is putting mines in the water of the Strait of Hormuz." He said that there is to be no hesitation. Additionally, our minesweepers are clearing the strait now. I am hereby ordering that activity to continue, but at tripled up level. Thank you for your attention to this matter, U.S. President Donald Trump. This is the post that's moving markets right now. It is a tweet. A tweet ruined my trade. I would have made money, but this tweet ruined it. You know? Again, Tandrum, you're a made man here now. You told me not to buy. You were right, bro. You were right, dude. How much am I down on the day? I am down $230.
Aren't we using drones to sweep for mines?
Yeah, too much winning. I think so. But man, guys, look at this news today, bro. Again, the news that just dropped, the president tweeted here. It's Britt's fault, bro. It is Britt's fault.
It is. I'm so sorry, everybody. Forgive me, please.
Yeah, I'm gonna kick you out, Britt.
Myself before you.
Bring Tandrum on the stream. Get Britt out of here, guys. Get Britt out. Get Britt out of here. You should have stopped me from taking that trade, and I blame
you. I need you guys to rally around me for support. I need some job security here.
That's right. You know, I'll go from paying you $0, Britt, to paying you 0.0001 cents. I'm gonna pay you like crypto 0.000001 cents. But this is the news driving markets right now. And the NASDAQ reacted really brutally to this, and the oil popped up to almost $94 a barrel here. But again, presidential tweet. Presidential tweet.
He's probably watching. He's probably watching your stream and just timed it just to mess you over.
Oh, that's right. You know, he knew it. He.
John, can you hear me?
Oh, I'm muted. I've been muted. How long have I been muted, guys? The chat's going to wake up. They're going to say muted. Yep, look, I could tell.
About 10 or 15 seconds.
Okay. Oil's still jumping up on this tweet. So the president tweeted. I know, guys, I know. I could tell the chat was just going to awaken. Maybe I should mute myself more and just keep talking if I want the chat to communicate more. Again, Trump just said, ordered the Navy to shoot any boat putting mines in Hormuz. Our minesweepers are clearing the strait right now, but we're doing it at tripled level. End quote. So that is what's going on right now. NASDAQ dumped, oil spiked.
As Sam said, peace and quiet was refreshing.
Yeah. Your chin is too big? Is it really? You know?
You're saying your chin hit the mute button.
Oh, I think it has actually, that realistically, it probably is what happened here. You know, when you got just a beautiful chin, right, like this, you know, it's going to accidentally bump the mute button, I think. That really, genuinely, no sarcasm here, which is rare for me. That's actually what happened, I think. Anyways, this is a
cursed market started dropping.
I know, dude. Listen, that's exactly what this is. Oil is back up to almost $94 a barrel. We're over the 200 exponential. We are heading into the opening bell. John, I was too busy making eggs, but I disagree with your comment. Where's my eggs, bro? It's a big change for those companies in terms of cannabis reclassification. Again, my issue with cannabis, all of it, is that both sides, again, I'm a big believer in let people do whatever they want to do as long as it's not hurting anybody else. The issue I have with cannabis is that, not cannabis itself, the issue I have with both sides of the political spectrum here. I'm very moderate in how I am. I'm very neutral. I think the more radical you get on either side, like, I don't know. But the issue I have is both sides act like they're going to legalize it, and then they don't. And they do just enough to make people think they're pro legalization. And I think that's my issue with it. Is it good? Sure, it's good. Is it, at this point in time, like, we're just wasting money. Cannabis is objectively less harmful than alcohol. Alcohol, obviously more harmful, but you can buy it at liquor. You can buy liquor at gas stations. It's just a ridiculous standard, I think. It really is. And it's wasting tax dollars.
I think realistically, the reason it hasn't been made legal by either side is just too many jobs, one way or the other, whether you're talking about government or private, depend on it being illegal.
100%. Law enforcement, prison industry,
Lobbyists.
pharmaceutical industry, lobbyists. Yeah, it's all the same. And again, I'm not, like, dude, it needs to be legal. Let people do whatever they want to do. I'm a big believer in letting people do whatever they want to do as long as it's not hurting anybody else,
Yep.
I'm a believer in smaller government. I don't want a big government,
Same here.
All right, guys, NASDAQ is at 27,000 here. Let's see what happens. It's over 27,000, and I think 27,000 is a big level here. It's a big level. Yeah, this is a big level. So 27,000, big psychological level. Again, we did a poll not that long ago on this. Regarding when the NASDAQ break 27,000. What was the poll? I don't know if the poll was, does the NASDAQ break 27K or does the NASDAQ close over 27,000? It is, will the NASDAQ close the year over 27,000?
Yeah,
and at this point, at this point, it's starting to look like that. Obviously, I mean, we're at 27,000 already. Unless we have a bear market for the rest of the year, which is certainly possible, but unless we get a bear market for the rest of the year, it's looking like we probably will.
You had a census worker stalking you for days.
Yeah. Yeah, right now we're pretty flat over the last 2 minutes here, but again, this big NASDAQ pullback. I saw this happen. I was in the trade. I was like, oh, no. And I knew immediately it was geopolitical related. Like, I could tell immediately. Like, the market doesn't dump down this fast unless it's catalyst driven. Like, people like to reference technicals a lot, and technicals work great. But you got people that reference technicals for really fundamental catalysts and fundamental moves. Like, this is straight up, like, as soon as I saw it, I knew this is not a technical move. It's too big. It happens too quickly. Technicals work. You can have consolidation of interest at technical levels. But you can just see it's different. And you can look at oil spike simultaneously to confirm it's geopolitical related. Now we're right at 27,000. Right at 27,000. I don't think what he said is necessarily the most escalating thing he could say. I think, if we're tripling the output of sweeping and getting rid of the mines, I think that may be optimistic. But it ultimately depends if we can get a deal done, realistically. And so I don't know if it's going to cause this type of brutal reaction holding down, but I also think the market's up a lot. A lot of people think the market shouldn't be pushing up right now anyway, based off of everything going on. So at this point in time, are y'all bullish or bearish? Chat, let me know.
Oh.
I disagree. You're trading the news in hindsight. The chart shows before the move. Yeah, but this is not a technically driven move here, brother. This is not technical at all. You look at the volume spike here. So like, this is not technical movement. This is tweet movement. This is from a tweet. And look, and you know this, and you can have the best technical indicator in the world. I always use the example of like CPI data, right? Like, you could have the best technical bull pattern ever. You could have the biggest bull pattern technically ever on your chart, regardless of what you think that is. But if CPI comes in at 8%, market's going down, despite that technical bull pattern. And so, technicals work, sure. But this market's difficult just because it's news driven, and it's tweet driven, and it's geopolitical driven. So it's a different market. Technicals work, sure. Long term, when you zoom out, they definitely can work. But NC Bolt says, first time tuning in years. I used to listen to you every day after my dad passed back in 21. I remember when NVIDIA was crazy trading at $18. Hope you're doing well, brother. I'm bullish. Hey, what's up, NC Bolt? I vaguely remember you, I think, brother. Hope you're doing good, man. If you guys remember, you remember me arguing with those AI people, those AI bears, bro. Like in 2021, dude, I was deep in the trenches arguing with AI bears. I would tell them AI is going to be the future. It's obviously going to be big. It's going to be the next big money pool. They would argue with me and tell me I'm wrong and all this other stuff. Well. Here we are, 4 years, 5 years later. You know.
Honestly, I hoped against hope that it would go away or wouldn't be as consequential or influential as it has become. But like, in my heart of hearts, I knew that it would be. Like, there was just no avoiding it.
No, 100%. Yeah, I mean, it's inevitable. It's inevitable. It's going to be something that obviously is going to take off. Just because it increases productivity, it increases efficiency, it fixes margins as long as you're not a software company, and it just allows people to. It allows the production of technology to go up exponentially. Is really what it does. And so because of that, it's going to be enwrapped in everything we do. Here's 27,000. Here's the Nasdaq right at 27,000. ServiceNow is dropping even though it had good EPS revenue and raised guidance just from software fears. It's dragging everything else down. Microsoft. What's the Supermicro semiconductor news? They purchased by Overseas Chinese Banking Corporation. Or some of their shares were purchased. Yeah, $1.4 billion Oracle contract loss for SMCI. So they lost an Oracle contract, actually, is why Supermicro semiconductors are down.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I was just making some adjustments on to make sure.
Yeah, all good. The moment the market starts to go down brings all the diehard fans out the woods. Or diehard bears out the woods. What's the next big money pool, John? Robotics. Probably robotics.
So it'll go hand in hand with AI.
Yeah, it might be 5 years before it really gets efficient enough to do so, but next big money pool is robotics. I think. What do you guys think? What's the next big money pool in markets? Again, I think robotics makes sense. I think we have the robots. They're not perfect for sure, but we have them. We have AI systems now to run them more efficiently with less like overhanging work. I think robotics is that thing.
Barring some unforeseen breakthrough in another sector, I tend to agree with you.
Yeah.
And personally, I look forward to having a robot butler. It'd be like Bicentennial Man. Robin Williams is gonna be my butler.
Yeah, like I've said this once, I'll say it again. As long as it's not like T1 Terminator, or T2 bad guy Terminator, liquid metal guy. I can't remember his name. but as long as it's not like either, I'll take a Robin Williams guy to hang out with.
Heck yeah, dude. Johnny 5 incoming. Dude, I love that movie. That was such an old movie.
Yeah. Robotics or quantum? Yeah, robotics, quantum, they both make sense to me. Again, quantum, guys, is a supercomputer that does what's called superposition, which means that it processes things in a more simultaneous way versus your computers now that process things in an orderly fashion.
Sequentially.
Yeah, it seems simultaneous to us, but it's not.
It's true. So basically, a quantum will be like true multitasking with efficiency.
Right. It just allows it to do a lot more things, solve more deeper, complex problems, and so forth. Right. But again, quantum stocks have really gotten hammered here, though. Like quantum stocks, they had their big run. This was like mid 2025 is when quantum stocks, like you can look at like Rigetti or QBTS or any of these, they had their big run, bro. Like Rigetti got up to almost $60 a share. It's at 18s now. QBTS, same thing. It got up to 46, 47. It's at 20s now. So a lot of these are down 50+% at this point in time for quantum. So I do think it was too early for these to run like they did. I think a lot of these were just too early to run like they did. So at this point, we'll see what happens, but yeah, it was just a little bit too early, just a little bit, maybe in 5+ years, it will be that next big tech, but yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's close either. I think they're still really look at the Nasdaq still rebounding back up here. So the NQ is still popping higher. Let me check the breaking news. Traffic in the Strait of Hormuz is mainly stalled with few Iran-related ships moving. Yeah, I mean, obviously. I don't think anybody thought traffic was moving. Yeah. QBTS holding strongly. I mean, it's back up over the last few weeks here, but it's still down over 50% from its highs. You know, yeah, mid last year, October, August, July last year, it had these big runs. It's still down 50+%. A little bit over 50% actually from its highs. So they're still struggling, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, like I said, guys, I told you guys after this dip that I thought this was like I thought it would go back up here. Like I didn't think like the president's tweet made the market dump and oil spike, but I didn't think the tweet was as bad as some of the other ones I've seen in regards to like deeply pushing the market down today. And so what we do see is we see the NASDAQ pushing higher. We see oil dipping down. Software fears is why ServiceNow is down, and it's trickling into other big companies like Microsoft and more. Al or A1 or whatever your name is. Yeah, so. Yeah, hit the subscribe button, guys. Hit the notification bell. We appreciate it. We did have jobless claims unemployment come out.
I wonder how the revised data for this week will be. Like for the numbers that just dropped, I mean.
Thank you, my beautiful man. Wow, man, just the compliments are coming, bro. Just listen, just keep it on, keep it up, dude. Just keep saying it, man. I need to hear.
You are beautiful. You are a beautiful man, John. I
believe that. Top 3 most beautiful ever. Beautifulest, some say. You know.
Brad Pitt can't even bear to look at you. You shine so bright, you know.
That's right. That's right. Sell everything. Turtle Trader. IBM a safer quantum play. IBM had earnings yesterday. They fell down originally from it, but again, it is kind of a situation where a lot of stuff fell. But here's IBM. IBM reported earnings yesterday. They're down. You are beautiful in every single way. They should make a song about me. You know. IBM at 233s. At 233s. That's right. They call me Mahogany John. That's what they call me. John the Kind. I know. Follow jujitsu trades? Dude, I want to go train. I wanted to go train this week, but I got sick, bro. You know? 27-21s here. I'm supposed to get some stripes, too. I know it. I know it. I've kind of pushed my main, like, guy out at, like... He's like, hey, how many stripes do you have? I'm like, I don't have any stripes on my blue belt. But I always tell him, I was like, I don't want stripes, dude. Like, I want to set the bar really low with anybody that rolls with me. I don't want a purple belt. I don't want stripes on my blue belt. I'm going to stay a no stripe blue belt forever here. I'm like Peter Pan, you know.
When you get stripes, just color them in with a Sharpie.
That's right. That's right. You know. John Burgundy. Yeah. Look, NASDAQ over 27,000, and we did bounce exactly at 27,000. Here's 27K. So I did bounce right at 27. Or we did bounce right at 27. Whole dollar number, psychological level. Yeah, I mean, Al, I believe that. I believe that. Ugh. Yeah, unemployment claims did go up. Oil shocks are still here. NASDAQ did bounce here, though, man. Wonder if oil's going to keep falling. It's almost back red on the day.
It is the. You're right. The James Blunt song was totally about John.
I know. That's what I was gonna say. It is my song. You know.
You're beautiful.
I know. That's me. That's me right there. He saw me. He was like, "Dang." He watched the stream one day. You know. All right, guys. Again, NASDAQ's pumping here. NASDAQ's pumping. This week has had my number in terms of trading. Honestly, it's had mine too. Like the choppiness, tweets, you know, Brit, wrong picks, the chat, you know, steering me the wrong way intentionally.
Mostly me. You know, I'll take the blame for the chat.
I'm definitely red this week. I'm definitely red. After that Trump tweet, I'm definitely red. It's been a hard week, guys. It's been a hard week.
Been a hard day's night, huh, John?
Yeah, that's right. And I asked the chat this morning, are you red or green? Almost all of them were like, yo, we're green. I said, we're green today. Damn, dude. Chat's doing good. I'm not. Yeah. Oh. Bitcoin rip it up. You're doing jiu-jitsu, Blaze? It's so much fun, bro. It really is so much fun, dude. You do get hurt a lot, though. It is rough. Like, it's rough when, you know, it's rough on your body. It really is. Green, wrong color. Yeah, I mean, NASDAQ is pushing up here. Again, just to give you guys some levels that I'm watching. I'm watching 27,100. I'm watching 27,000 here. And then I'm going to look at 26.8 underneath us here. So I'm looking at these levels. We have some confirmed support. You can probably watch 26.9 as well. If we look at like a longer term chart here, like a 20-day chart, we're just up a lot. And I think in general, markets probably are going to pull back. Obviously, I think it depends on what happens geopolitically. And so I think if we get easing of tensions, watch the market over the weekend. Because the market over the weekend is where you can watch Bitcoin if markets are closed. Because Bitcoin kind of moves in a macro way. So like if Bitcoin's dumping this weekend, you know, you can also watch Sunday open. Yeah. No, you get 4 stripes and then you get your next belt. So there is actually such a thing as the 4-stripe white belt. It means you're almost to blue. I don't think I ever got 3 stripes though. I think they gave me 2 stripes and then they were like, you know what, you're ready.
How long did it take you to get the blue belt?
A year and a half? A year? Like a year and a couple months, probably.
Yeah, you were a prodigy.
I know I was, man. Listen. Nah, there's some people that get it in like 8 months.
Joking, that actually is fast.
It's kind of fast. It depends. In hindsight, I would go back. I wouldn't get it. You know, you spar with all these different people at class, right? And so what you realize is that the higher belts are being nice to you. And that stops as soon as you become a blue belt. Like, as soon as you become a blue belt, they're like, it's time. Like I'm ready now. Like, no more Mr. Nice Guy with you. And that dynamic's absolutely real.
And they just try to smash you when you hit purple, huh?
Yeah. No, as soon as you hit blue, they beat you up, dude.
I thought it might get worse progressively, you know?
Purple belt, you can probably, like, you know, purple belt, the only people that really give you problems. I mean, it depends. Everybody's different. Belts don't mean as much as people think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody has different strengths and weaknesses. And like you've told me before, I mean, sometimes, regardless of belt, somebody just has your number.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Some people are just good, you know?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter the belt. So Macron is speaking now. He said, we support extending the ceasefire in Lebanon and a call for permanent peace that respects Lebanon's unity and sovereignty, is what he just said. Yeah. But again, markets are down on the Trump tweet. They kind of retraced all the way back up, though. So you can see this is algorithms. Like, here's the oil jump on the Trump tweet. Here's where it came out. Here's the volume surge. Here's where it happened on the NASDAQ. I was regrettably long in this moment. But it did just fill all the way back up here. So we'll see. Macron.
And obviously it's tech, but what do they do exactly?
Who? Or Macron?
Yeah.
He's
I'm wrong about it being tech, right?
He's the president of France.
I thought it was a company. Swear to God.
Yes, you're wrong. You're wrong. Yeah.
Y'all don't let into me too hard. I just made a mistake.
There's a lot of different leaders. I can't. If I didn't watch finance, I can't pretend like I would.
That really sounds like a company name, dude. It genuinely does.
Yeah. Well, Micron is MU, right? So Micron is MU.
Oh.
And
okay.
that's the joke. Somebody's saying, "Hey, I thought it was Micron."
I told John this earlier. I mean, I make mistakes, but I don't usually make the same mistake twice. So.
Yeah. Yeah, Sharp. I'm not sure what you're talking about in here, brother. Applied Digital signed a new hyperscaler. I saw that. I did see the APLD news. Up 40% today. Applied Digital saving my butt. And yeah, guys, listen, we have 15 minutes until the opening bell. We'll see what we bring here today. But jobless claims are out. Markets are interesting. Up 40% today. Bull or bear for the opening bell? Let me do a poll here. I think I need to do a poll. Again, like I said, I'm going to be watching a lot of stocks. Nvidia has filled the gap. Tesla is down pretty significantly from their earnings report. Sometimes we get delayed responses to earnings. What do I mean by that? I mean, sometimes stocks will report earnings, make a move, and then at the opening bell the next day, they kind of retrace that type of move, so to speak. And so I am going to be looking at Tesla. I'm going to be looking at ServiceNow. I'm going to be looking at Microsoft at the opening bell today. Obviously, we're going to be watching the NASDAQ. We're going to be watching oil. So we're going to be paying attention to a lot of different things. But some of these earnings reports and negative reactions that we've seen over the last few days are going to be front and center today during the opening bell, so to speak. Just be careful. Yesterday, we had a lot of chop. It took us a while to break out of the chop. And we do finally get some economic data next week. We got the Fed meeting. We got a bunch of... excuse me, guys. Dang, dude. You can see how... oh, my gosh, dude.
You good?
Yeah, I just sneezed, bro, but it didn't move.
Oh, God bless you.
Like, my nose is so stopped up, nothing happened. Ugh.
Basically, you just got a bunch of back pressure.
Right. Ugh. We're here, guys. We're here. Yeah, but like nothing happened. Ugh. You know those sneezes where you sneeze? And then nothing happens.
I was wondering if you were gonna. You paused so long there. I was like, you know, those sneezes where you sneeze. Like, yeah, generally every sneeze.
That sneeze took me a little while to recover from, dude. Really selling that ping pong loss. Yeah, that's right. You know. I got the black lung pop. Oil back up here. Let's do another poll here. I think I need to do it. It's time to do another one. Are you guys bullish or bearish for the opening bell? No, I'm not a big believer in Afrin. You end up becoming like dependent on it, unfortunately. And like if you try to stop, your nose will get more stopped up.
No, that's totally true. My dad actually had a friend who he was so like physically dependent on it. If he went like an hour or two without a squirt, his sinuses would just swell up and shut on him.
You know, 100%. Look at all the bears in chat here. Y'all are in unison. Y'all just
I'm going with the bulls.
Yeah. Bearish. All right, the poll is now live here. Somebody clip that? You may become a meme, John? I don't know. I would assume sneezing is not the most exciting thing to become a meme. But maybe. You know. I'd embrace
Depends on the sneeze.
Yeah, look. All right, look. Oil just jumped a little bit here, guys. So oil just jumped. It retraced almost back down immediately here. Let's check tweets. Let's check market news. Something just happened. Look at oil jump. NASDAQ falling here. Let's check tweets first. I think first thing we got to do is check tweets. Yes. Another tweet. It says, Iran is having a very hard time figuring out who their leader is! Exclamation point. They just don't know. The infighting is between the hardliners who have been losing badly on the battlefield, and the moderates who are not very moderate at all but gaining respect is crazy. We have total control over the Strait of Hormuz. No ship can enter or leave without the approval of the U.S. Navy, he says. It is sealed up tight until such time as Iran is able to make a deal. Thank you for attention to this matter.
Okay, so I'm assuming that was Trump. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Trump tweet. NASDAQ did react negatively to this. Still at 27,000 though. Oil is jumping higher here ahead of the opening bell. But yeah. A tweet is moving markets. Yeah, again, Iran is having a very hard time figuring out who their leader is. They just don't know the infighting is between hardliners who have been losing badly on the battlefield and moderates who are not very moderate at all. We have total control over the strait. No ship can enter or leave without the approval of the U.S. Navy. It's sealed up tight until such time as Iran is able to make a deal. Thank you for your attention. So, yeah. NASDAQ down, oil up. And that is the market moving news today. Market moving news. And so, like I said, he's not wrong in that there are different factions. One side is definitely more moderate than the other. The other side has lost so much at this point. They're ready to just kind of go down with the ship, so to speak. The other side is more reasonable and you know, willing to push for a deal. But it's not given, and things are kind of scattered in terms of leadership there. But, you know. All right, NASDAQ rebounding pretty quickly back up here. Let me make sure we don't have any other news coming out. Again, Hormuz is sealed up tight until Iran can make a deal, Trump says. We have total control over the strait. No ship can enter or leave without the approval of the U.S. Navy. It's not that I believe him, Guitar. It's that I was saying this before he even said that, which is that their factions are split. This is obvious when you look at it, you know. Is that their factions are split. Yeah, volume weighted average price right under 27,000. Whole dollar number on the NASDAQ makes sense. Look, here's 27,000. This green line is 27,000. We're right above that. That's exactly where we bounced right here. And I drew this line before we bounced right here because it is a psychological level. The 200 exponential is also right here. We have 13 minutes left until the market opens, so.
Be back in a second.
All right. All right, guys, here we go. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to give in to the demands either. Right, exactly, Peck. Barron is shorting. Iran is losing 500 million a day. We got 340 likes. Hey, that's pretty good. I appreciate you guys. Again, we are going to trade the opening bell today. And we'll see what happens. We have 12 minutes left. Again, if you want to help support the channel, use coupon code BGT at checkout. BGT at checkout, you'll get the max discount. BGT at checkout, you get the max discount. You can use it for Tradeify. Tradeify is the cheapest direct funded options. You can also use it for Take Profit Trader as well. I like Lucid and Tradeify direct funded. Take Profit's got really good rules for beginners. They don't do direct funded, but they do have some good evals. If you want the cheapest, Apex is 90% off sales going on right now. And Apex also has a deal where I think for the intraday trail 50K account, the activation fee is only $69. So Apex is good if you want to take a bunch of challenges and they're cheaper. And then if you pass them, you might have to pay a little bit more. But if you take a challenge and fail, you know, it's a little bit cheaper than the other options. So there's good things about all of them. Again, use coupon code BGT at checkout. You'll get the max discount at all times. You can find all the links in the description. I'll put the Lucid link up here, but you can also find the Tradeify link in the description, Apex's link in the description. And remember, most day traders lose. And so, yeah, most day traders lose money. And so you might as well try. And
I'm back. Who were you pumping?
Kind of all of them, really.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever he said, it's true. Great,
Yeah.
Great companies that John works with.
Yeah.
Platforms, whatever.
Definitely great companies. But if you want to check them out, here's the link. They are an affiliate of mine, of course. I'm biased. I get paid by them, so naturally I'm biased. We'll see what the opening bell brings. It should be interesting. Yeah, there's the Lucid link right there, guys. Check it out. Also, guys, join our Discord. Our Discord has been waking up. We've been getting a little bit more active chat in our Discord. So if you want to hang out with us, I'm going to start doing after today. I'm going to start doing a daily recap of what's going on in the markets in our Discord before I start the stream. And so I'm going to start doing this every day. Here's the Discord link right here. Check it out. Join our free day trading Discord. I'll put that link up here as well. And yeah, hang out with us after the stream ends. What happens if Iran hits a U.S. ship? Well, I mean, markets
Really
are going to go down.
stuff.
Oil's going to go up. Markets are going to go down. And escalating fears are going to increase, obviously. I mean, more escalation.
Yeah, everyone's very founded fears because it will absolutely escalate if they hit a U.S. ship.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, obviously, right now where we're kind of in a slippery ceasefire. Yeah, I saw the Netflix. Um, I saw the Netflix. They expanded their buyback, so 25 billion repurchase authorization for Netflix. Netflix, I think, is going up on this news, right? Yeah, Netflix jumped on this news. Them buying more shares. So, yeah, Tilray's probably moving because of the cannabis news. Tilray's still involved with cannabis, right? It's been a while since I've looked at TLRY stock, but I always remember them as a cannabis company. Hey, what's up, Plague? Sorry. Other rooms I might check for entertainment. They will not report any news. They will just have 1,000 indicators. I'm a big believer in simplicity for stuff like this too. I think what works is what works is simplicity. I think a lot of the time.
Tilray is still fundamentally a cannabis company, but it's significantly diversified beyond just cannabis.
Yeah, it's jumping up on the rescheduling news, which is what I mean. You could expect it.
It's expanded into beverage alcohol distribution and wellness.
Yeah, it's still at heart a cannabis company, but like I said, it did jump up pretty significantly here. Multi Shredder, Trump says he will. Yeah, no, again, more tweets coming out here. That's what's driving this market here. We did bounce right there at 27,000 again. So 27,000, my line in the same level for the market open on the NASDAQ here. Oil, I'm kind of looking at 94s up here around the volume weighted average price. So 94s up here above us. Makes sense to me. It's right around the VWAP at 94s for oil. And I think that makes perfect sense to pay attention to here. So this big green level here. Underneath us, 93 is right around the previous closing price. So really, I'm just going to watch this generalized area here. Between like 92.80s and 93, just because that's the previous closing price. That's a confirmed support level as well at 93. And so within that range, we're going to be paying attention to that on oil. And we'll see what happens.
In what way do I sound like a shareholder?
They're probably just trolling you. Did birds ever hold? Not really.
I was actually gonna mention birds.
Oh yeah.
Just because somebody said that Tilray should move into AI.
Yeah. Well, after birds did it, it's open for everybody now.
Yeah.
Let's see.
They broke the glass ceiling, huh?
Yeah. Let's see vegan food companies come out and say they're pivoting to AI also.
Vegan AI though.
Yeah. Yeah. UNH will try to pull the Dow up. All right, guys, here we go. Opening bells here. Oh, we do have manufacturing and services PMI at 945, and this is April manufacturing and services data. So that might move markets more than jobless claims, honestly. Beginner trading market doesn't make sense to me. Oil is going up. NASDAQ is also at all-time highs. Yeah, but I mean, the net, like oil's been dropping. If we look at like a 4-hour chart, oil's been dropping really since the 7th of April. So for the last 2 weeks, oil's been net down, obviously. Now it makes jumps in, like it pops up every now and then. It's almost back up today. But the NASDAQ is pulling back from all-time highs as oil rises here. So again, because of the geopolitical dynamic, oil goes up, NASDAQ goes down, and vice versa a lot of the time. Not always. Other times it's related to tech. Honest question, could this rise in the market be for a soft landing for the drop if the war does pop off, less of a hit? I mean, wouldn't a soft landing indicate recession and maybe higher rates if the war pops off for longer equals recession? Is that what you're saying? It could be markets pricing in that. You'd see it in yields. But since we've been pulling back in markets, let's see. Try to see what yields have done. Yeah, I mean, yields have mostly pulled back since April, but they're not down that much. It's going to depend on what the data shows. The NASDAQ is pulling back here on the market on open. Jobless claims, inflation, and oil up. Sailing off into the sunset with gains. Hey, good luck, my friend. Again, we are going to be day trading now. ServiceNow keeps dropping. Yeah, we're watching ServiceNow. This is the market on open data. We're getting some selling pressure showing up, and oil is rising up. I'm trying to make sure we don't have any breaking news that might cause this. U.S. Interior Minister Burgum says Trump order on boats laying mines is not an escalation. Am I muted? No, I'm not muted.
What about Doug Burgum?
Who's that?
You said Burgum. I think it's pronounced Burgum.
The Interior Minister.
Yeah, the billionaire.
I don't know.
Anyway, if we're talking about the same guy, I think it's pronounced Burgum.
Yeah, you're right, Doug Burgum.
Yeah.
Is he a billionaire?
Yeah, he is. I think he made his money in tech. I might be wrong.
Yeah, he has a net worth of about 100 million, they say, but some estimates do place it at over $1 billion, so it varies. Nasdaq's still dumping down here. We're at under 27,000 now, ahead of the opening bell. So we are under 27,000 now. Let's see if this holds. We have 2 minutes into the open.
Later, Sam. Hope you feel better, man.
Yeah, later, bro. Also, give me a follow on x.com at Beginner Trades. At Beginner Trades, here's the link. Give your boy a follow here. I appreciate it. Yeah, here's the link. Check it out. Give me a follow, guys. You know you want to.
Also, my name has 2 T's.
Right, it's got 1 T. Don't listen to him. Nasdaq bouncing higher here at 27,000. Bouncing higher at 27,000.
All right.
Hit me with it, Britt. Yell at me. Yeah.
I'm not gonna yell. I'm just gonna out you to the entire chat again. John misspelled my name for like 20 years. We're best friends, and he
was intentional.
It was not intentional for like the last 6 months. Only in like the last 6 months has he started spelling my name correctly.
Look, the Nasdaq jumping right now. Hold on, real quick. Let me make sure nothing's going on here. I don't see anything happening right now. It could be market on open data. Look at the big bull show up. Let me see what's jumping here. So oil's not really moving, which means it could be tech related. Let's look at ServiceNow. ServiceNow is falling down. That's not it. Microsoft down. Nvidia jumping. So this looks microchip or Nvidia related here on the pops. Look at Nvidia jump. Nasdaq is popping higher here. Yeah, I mean, we got some type of catalyst going on. Nvidia, I think, is driving the Nasdaq higher. We bounced right there at 27,000. But here we go. Here's the opening bell. We got less than a minute. Less than a minute. But by the way, Britt, like, listen, I'm an ADHD typer. All right, if I could use the shortened version of everything, I will. So
you got a little butthurt, didn't you?
That last T takes a little while to type. I'm just gonna skip that last T. You know?
You got a little butthurt.
It takes too long.
I'm just getting John's good, everybody. Like I'm not. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, no, I'm just messing. By the dips, pump before the opening bell. Apple is up. Yeah, I don't know if it's Nvidia. Something's driving markets higher. Apple's up a little bit, but that's not what this is. ServiceNow, Tesla. No, not any of this. Looks like Nvidia. MU maybe. All right, here's the open, guys. There's the bell. Let's see what we get. Opening bell is here. Yeah, so there's the opening bell. Is it Google? Nasdaq completely reversed this big green move, though. It was Google. It was Google or Nvidia. But look at the Nasdaq reverse this big move here. So look at the red showing up in the Nasdaq right now, guys. We are dropping. Look at the Nasdaq fall at the opening bell here.
Oh no, it's dropping a lot.
Yeah, we're quickly dropping here. It's not small. Again, we're back up to 26,980s, 26,990s.
Looks like it's hitting some support, huh?
Yeah, we're under 200,000 now. I'm looking at news. I don't see anything that would drive this. The M balance showed up at plus 27 million, plus 29 million on the Nasdaq, negative 69 million on the Dow, and up 12 million on the Mag 7. Again, we did have the U.S. Interior Minister Burgum say Trump ordered boats laying mines. It's not an escalation. So basically saying the tweets were not escalating. All right, so we've retraced back up. We're now over 27,000. We are only about a minute into the day, so I do have to kind of wait here and let things settle down some first. Yeah, the conflict has been driving most of this price action, but oil didn't really react in like some big meaningful way here. Hit that 94,000 level we talked about. Look, we said 94. We tapped 94 just now. Let's see what happens here. Again, here's ServiceNow. It is dropping a little bit since the opening bell, slightly for ServiceNow, so it is dropping some. Microsoft is bouncing back a little bit here. Tesla is down some since the opening bell as well. IBM, which also reported earnings yesterday, is dropping some. Google still up there. Nvidia is pulling back as well. So Nvidia is technically red on the day again. It's back down under 202s. It's at 201.60s. And the NASDAQ is going back and forth here. It's kind of sideways, choppy. So we'll see what we get.
How much more difficult has the conflict made day trading?
I mean, it's definitely more difficult. Just because you don't know. There's less reliance on technicals, is what it is. So, like, with a tweet being able to move the market like it's been, technicals have been really hard to piggyback off of. You know, one wrong tweet can push you down. So. Okay.
Well, I mean, in correlation to that, though, like, even though it's made it more difficult, has it also created opportunities for larger gains than normal because of the swings?
Oh yeah, I mean, people who bought oil back in the day, you know, they're loving life. Gold and silver have run up big. There's a lot of stuff that's happened, not necessarily from the conflict specifically, but just in general, like stuff's been going on. Volatility's been higher.
A lot of developments in the market and in tech sectors and things like that.
Yeah, a lot of dips to buy that have worked. A lot of pullbacks that can happen. All right, look at this retracement here, guys. So we are retracing back up here in the NQ. We're back over 27,000. What are we, 3 minutes in the day? I'm kind of tempted to buy this dip. It is a little close to the open, though. Large losses, too. Yeah, 100%. Big risk, big reward is the nature of the market here, to be honest. Like, markets are just kind of whipping back and forth, up and down. Crazy amounts. All right, NASDAQ trying to hold over 27,000. See what happens with some of these software companies. Yeah, if it happens in your favor, it's good. Obviously, if it doesn't, it's not good, of course.
You're saying losing money is bad?
Losing money is definitely not good most of the time.
Okay. You know? Just wanted to clarify.
Unless you're reducing taxable income, it's generally bad. You know? Yeah, we're over 27,000. I want to see if this holds, but I think it's up in the air now. 27,000 seems to be a big psychological level. But again, this is a news-driven market, so...
Also, really by the by, we're at 370 likes. Let's see if we can get to 400. That'd be awesome.
Are y'all... Yeah, most people said they are green, so, I mean, that's good. You know?
Bitcoin's downtrending?
Yeah, Bitcoin... I mean, it's down a little bit. Really, we're at choppy right now. We're kind of sideways. Like, here's Bitcoin right here. Bitcoin's at 77,600s.
Okay, but you wouldn't necessarily define it as a definite, defined downtrend yet?
Right, no, not yet. So I did go long here, guys. I am in a trade right now. I'm going to take some of this off and lock a lot of that in. We're still red on the day, but maybe we can hold this from broader, longer-term trade. And we'll hold it break even, 27,000. And we'll hold it a little bit under break even, but my risk level is probably around 90 here, 27.9. So...
Jen, what about Lockheed Martin?
Lockheed Martin reacted negatively to their earnings. Are they moving right now?
I don't know. I was just...
Yeah, they're still red.
Okay. I literally went green after John's sneeze.
It's definitely the sneezes. I mean, you're welcome, bro. All right, I'm going to cut
sneeze
this up
some
here.
magic out there.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut this up here. I'm out. I got out just in time too, so we made about $100. Very small trade. It's pretty close to the opening bell. Maybe I'll look for another dip buy here, but really we gotta watch like oil. Nvidia's downtrending too, so I'm a little bit distrusting of current price action. Oil is back over 94s as well, and it's over the volume weighted average price. So, hey, appreciate the follow, JP.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it, bro. Should I have held this, guys? Should I have held? I think maybe I should have. Let's see if we start to head up. I got in right over 27,000 here. So we got in right over 27,000.
Buy again. I'm sure it's going to keep pushing up and up and up and up.
Yeah. Oh, I believe it will, Brett.
I mean, yeah, over time anyway.
I think most people objectively,
yeah,
are going to be long. I might think about buying this dip here, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. We have had a little retracement back down here, a small one. Do I want to enter this? What time is it? It's 7 minutes into the debt open. All right, I'll jump in small here. We have 2 contracts. I'm going to cut half of this here and get off flat and then see if this pops up more I can add back to it. I just don't like how it's chopping. I don't want to get back in the high volume area of the node here and then go sideways and whippy. So we're kind of past the high level. Yeah, I'm going to cut it right there. Basically break even. So we'll think about another trade to get into. But oil's jumping up right now as well here. So look at oil. Oil's at 95.30s. So most people are pricing in some escalation here. So again, I think most people are pricing in some type of continued escalation. Now I can buy back shares tomorrow. Yeah, I should have held the long, but it's all right. We're still green since the open. Yeah, 9:45 we have services and manufacturing data. I forgot. Yeah. Yeah, we do have services and manufacturing PMI. Yeah, this is relevant because it is for April here. So manufacturing and services PMI for April is relevant. Yeah, so these could move markets more than other stuff, to be honest.
And why mofos apparently always wondered how you know in real time when the market is pricing in anything good or bad.
I mean, how do you know in real time how the market prices in good or bad stuff?
Yeah, well, just apparently how quickly you
it goes up. In. If it's good, it goes up. If it's bad, it goes down, bro. That's market's pricing in things. So, all right, guys. Services PMI data might actually move stuff here. I don't know. So, it is April data here. Nasdaq's pretty resilient. It's still bouncing back higher. Something like that. Yeah, I mean, look, markets going down generally means markets are pricing in bad or worse things. You missed a bunch of presidential tweets. NASDAQ's still getting close. Remember, all-time highs on the NQ are, what are they? They're like hold on. They're at 136 all-time highs. We hit it yesterday for all-time highs in the NASDAQ. We're getting much closer to this now. All-time highs are right around here, 136, right here for the NASDAQ. So we're close enough to make it relevant for the all-time high level. Again, we do have services PMI. This is data for April. Manufacturing flash PMI data. This data from April. This data drops again right at 9:45 p.m., which is in what? 4 minutes? Again, they're both expected to increase relative to the previous one. Manufacturing PMI for April is expected at 52.5. Services PMI expected at 50.5. We'll see how much it moves things. But here, Britt, you're kind of loud over there. You're bumping the mic. No, you're good.
No, I was typing something into.
Yeah.
I was doing some research.
Everybody yell at Britt, basically.
It's not gonna bother me, but you can yell at me.
Yell at him, dude. He needs it, you know. Get there. All right, guys. So we're still heading up. Oil at 94 plus. Oil at 94 plus. All right, so we are dipping down a little bit into this report. So we'll see how manufacturing and services data. Again, we got 3 minutes until this data releases. Yeah, oil and the NASDAQ are following each other, which is weird. And Duran lost 52% in April first half as ceasefire hurt oil bets. It's a French businessman, by the way. All right, guys. Bull or bear on the PMI data release? It's about to drop. Bullish or bearish? Let me know in chat right now. Yeah, we're at 62, 63s here. Let's see what we get. All right, here we go. We got 2.5 minutes left. Again, chat, let me know. Are you bullish or bearish, guys? Where are you guys at? Oh, there you go. Bullish. Am I yelling? I'm sorry. Charlie, quad, Trome, pawn. Given the war's long term, anyone shifting focus towards actively managing defense ETFs? Are you prioritizing the high liquidity of big defense? Bull, bear, bull. All right, here we go. Data's about to drop in less than a minute. Really about 30 seconds. Hit the live button next to the play button. Put it in 2x speed here, guys. We appreciate it. We'll see what the data brings. Again, manufacturing services data is not the biggest data release here. But it could move markets just based off of the fact that it's April data. Depends on what the numbers actually show up as. Bear man bull. All right, here we go. Here's the data release. 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And here's the release right now. Both were stronger than expected. 54 for manufacturing and 51.3 for services. Both stronger than expected. Yeah, look at that candle here, guys. I'm telling you. I thought this might move markets even more than jobless claims from this. But look at this candle here. So originally markets reacting negatively. Again, this is stronger manufacturing at 54 versus 52.5 expected. And stronger services by a pretty decent degree here. They didn't revise any of the previous ones. Global composite was 52. Last time it was 50.3. But we did get a reaction here from markets. Is it a crazy big reaction? No. But it's something here. And, yeah, originally the reaction is red. It's a negative reaction. Algos are probably picking this up, sure. But we are getting a red reaction from manufacturing and services PMI coming in stronger than expected. Yeah. Maybe worries about inflation potentially here. Services and manufacturing being stronger than expected could just signal inflation worries with the negative reaction. And again, we'll put this data up on chat right here. Here's the chat. Your services data right here, if you look at it. Here's manufacturing data. So first move is the wrong move, and the NASDAQ did get bought back up here from this report. Basically just bought right back up. Favorable. Yeah, I mean, we're up there here. All right, guys, look at this big jump. We're at 27,070 here. So the NASDAQ is pushing towards all-time highs. Should I buy this dip here, guys? That's what I'm thinking about. Again, stronger services and manufacturing data. I like this volume part of the this part of the volume profile, though. I don't really like buying. We're up a little bit too much here. Yeah, so we're starting to push back up. Let's see if we get a dip that we can buy. I know it's a little greedy. Yeah, CAR stock is halted on the downside at 343.80s here. I might buy 50. If we get down to 50 here, I might buy it. Yeah, the NASDAQ's climbing here. The S&P here is ripping up as well. Look at the S&P. NASDAQ, oil. Not really moving much because this isn't geopolitically related. This is S&P. This is manufacturing and services data beating. But it's moving pretty quickly here. Maybe I should have bought that dip. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, manufacturing 45 versus 52.5 forecast. Services 51.3. Forecast was only 50.6. So again, this flash manufacturing and services data is really pushing things. I thought it might move markets more. Like I said, man, maybe worry about inflation. Let's see what yields are doing here. This might explain some of this, but yields are down a little bit from this report. Not a lot, though. Maybe this is not priced in yet, but man, look at the market rip. I will buy 50. I'm looking for 50 here, guys. Is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this level right here. Yeah, we're getting a dip here. It's right around 100. Take profit allows trading the news on evals, but on funded pro or pro plus, you can't have any opening or pending positions for 1 minute before, during, and after the major news events. Like this might not be specific ones though. PMI might not be considered in that though. You'd have to reach out to them. So. All right, let's look for a dip. I want 2750s here, 2750s. $75 could cause the bounce to happen as well. What's a good pullback level here, guys? What level do y'all want on the NASDAQ? I'm looking at 50, 2750. But I got to kind of wait for this. So let me know which levels you like. It better not be, bro. I'm in a trade right now. Hey, be careful, dude. And again, check out Lucid if you want to help support the channel. There's no PDT rule on futures. You know, a great way to learn how to day trade. Most day traders lose money. And so most day traders are going to lose. Limit your risk with something like this. The split's pretty similar to funding your own account. 90%. You still keep most of your profit anyway. Much cheaper to get started, though. Most day traders lose regardless, though. So you're probably going to lose here just like you're probably going to lose with real money. But frankly, usually it's a lot cheaper to lose here. Again, here is the Lucid Trader link if you want to check it out. Great way to help support the channel. There's no PDT rule. Here's the link right here. Futures gets you around the PDT rule. You can day trade futures. You can day trade the S&P, NASDAQ, Dow, Russell, Gold, commodities. There's the link if you want to check it out. Use coupon code BGT. Beginner trading, BGT. 50% off, I think. Is it 50% off or is it 40? I might need to change this. Hold on, let me make sure. Oh, I think it expired a couple days ago. I'm going to remove and then change it to 40. There you go. The news was manufacturing PMI. All right, I'm going to buy the dip. We're close enough to my 50 level that I wanted here. And I'm going to see if we pop back higher here. There we go. I need a little bit more, though, to add to this. I wanted 50s. We're close to that now. I need to kind of add a little bit more to this once we push higher here. Here we go. Okay. I'm going to add some more to this now here. We're getting some nice pops. Take a piece off of this, lock it in. 50 worked beautifully here. I didn't quite catch it. I was too busy doing a shameless plug. I'm going to reduce my size by about half here. See if it continues up. Give it some time. So far, so good. What would it break even if it breaks underneath it now? All right, we're still pushing. Britt, you there?
Yeah, I'm just watching.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I was like, where'd Britt go?
No, I'm just doing my own kind of analyzing, but keeping quiet so as not to distract you.
Yeah. Yeah, what I'm doing here is I'm basically trying to I'm going to cut this right here and just get out green. What I'm doing is I'm trying to attack the broad trend here, Britt. So, like, we're pushing up. The broad trend is this right here, short term. Like, this is a 1 minute chart, so it's a little bit less. But that's the broad trend right now. Again, 50 is kind of the bottom level of that trend. It's also a psychological level. We're also in the more shallow part of the volume profile up here. Like, here's the heavy volume part. This is the more shallow. So the closer we get up here, the more interested I am in buying. And I wish I would have gotten a better entry here. But what we're looking to do is just kind of ride the trend back up to this high level. I'm not going to attack a high break. But,
yeah.
Yeah. That's
honestly, I mean, I didn't say anything because I'm not, qualified or really educated on this yet. But honestly, I thought it might bump back up at 27.55 and then hold it around 27.80. I was wrong about the 27.80, but I was pretty close on the 55.
Yeah. Yeah, and you gotta. I look at, like, it depends on what I'm looking at. The S&P 500, I look at it a little differently, but a lot of this is really, like, if we look at it, ServiceNow bounced back a little bit. Microsoft still down. Nvidia is up pretty big since the opening bell. It's up to almost 204s here. So one of the things driving this is Nvidia.
Okay.
Yeah, it just has take profit. PMI doesn't count. I didn't think it would. It's usually not that market moving. This one was because it's April data. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I wasn't talking just because you were kind of concentrating. I didn't want to distract you from, like, I didn't want to make you miss a trade, but I was also just kind of doing my own guessing and trying to analyze on my own.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if I would have missed a trade, I'd have blamed you for it.
You'd probably blame me for it anyway. So yeah, whatever.
No, I really wouldn't.
I know.
Yeah, looking at Bitcoin, guys. Bitcoin it's dipping down too. So Bitcoin's starting to fall some here. Here's Bitcoin, 77.5s. Interesting spot for Bitcoin though. If you think it's good about it, it's about to 77.5s. Nasdaq is at 50 again. Should I buy this dip again?
Yes.
I'm gonna try it. We'll add 2 contracts just so I'm not in one, and we'll add to it if it goes in my favor more. All right, we're green. Take half off, just scalp that move. See if we get a little pop at 50. If we go deeper in the green, we'll add more to it, but we can hold this one roughly break even now. More it doesn't initially bounce and it keeps breaking down. It's kind of like chipping away. I don't like it as much. Yeah, see.
Are you going to get out?
Probably. I mean, I'm going to give it a second here. We'll let it break this low. If it breaks this low, I'll probably cut it. Now 50's holding as resistance. See if it continues higher. There we go. Yeah, 50's holding as resistance now. It broke under the 50 level. Support turns into resistance a lot of the time, and vice versa. But we'll give it a second. Yeah, I'm out. Mostly flat. We might have lost a little bit. Yeah, we got close enough to all-time highs. We are heading back into some support levels here, though, so we'll see if we bounce back higher. I'm looking at NVIDIA, dude. NVIDIA has been ripping.
What's it up to now?
It's at 203s, but not even just today. Just like in general, NVIDIA's
just in general, just trending that way for days, weeks, or months, or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, we're now about 30 minutes after the bell. Might jump back in a long here. All right, we did. We'll hold it break even. Yeah, the EMA is too far down there. If we start, I mean, maybe it bounces. I want to see if this candle wick fails, though. On the upside, that is. The good news is when it pushes up so much in my favor short term is that, generally speaking, I can hold it break even now and have some room, but it looks like it's breaking, falling over. It might continue bouncing back up. We actually made, I think, a little bit. Yeah, if we look at the IGV ETF, it's been fading. Tech software sector ETF.
You think it's going to drop back down under 27,000?
I think it could. I think right now we have just like a big range here. And we've been green since the opening bell. We've basically been getting in really small trades, adding to them if they work, and then holding them break even. So that if we lose, it's not the end of the world. You know, we're basically flat. If we win, it'll be a much larger win. And basically what we've got in today, we've made small amounts of money, but nothing big. We haven't really continued to run in the direction we were looking for. So,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Trinity guy, I'm just assuming you're the other guy with a different account. Just kind of weird. I mean, I appreciate the compliment, but, you know.
Also, help us out, guys. We're at 395 likes. Get us to 400. I mean, I would just really appreciate it.
What are we at now?
395.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much. Might buy the 200 exponential here. We'll give it a second. Yeah, here's the 200 exponential, but that's the 10 a.m. Sometimes we dump at 10 a.m. Here's 27,000 even. It's also the VWAP here.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we just dumped. Here's the 27,000 VWAP level here. Should I buy this? I think so. I'm going to try one. See if it continues to hold. Very small.
Yeah. How's oil doing correspondingly?
Oil's up, so something actually might have just happened geopolitically here. I might be ready to just cut this trade immediately. Yeah, I'm gonna get out. Oil, like something just happened. Let me see.
Okay.
I think oil just there. Something happened. Look at the NASDAQ. Let me check tweets. It's surprising how many times I have to do this per day now.
And it's a long down candle.
It looks bigger than it is, like, but here's it on Toss. Toss is kind of the bigger picture here, but I don't see any tweets, so it could just be the 10 a.m. dump happening here. Yeah, good thing I got out of there. We are green since the opening bell. We were down like much more than we are, so we're slightly red, but it was meant to be a compliment. No, I appreciate it, Trinity. It's all love, brother. It's all love, dude. I do have an impeccable chin, you know.
Yeah, I mean, when I just glance at you, at first I think, man, am I looking at Jay Leno?
Yeah, you know.
that would be an insult.
As long as nobody compares me to the Habsburg jaw, you know, I'll be okay with it. Some of you guys might understand what I said, but NASDAQ under 27,000 here. Under 27,000. Do we hold here, guys? Ugh. We are breaking down. You know, we got the guy that calls me Cheddar Bob here. Do I look like Cheddar Bob? I mean, your rhymes are generic, dude. Mine are authentic made, you know. I flow like a renegade. Cheddar Bob. Is this me? Maybe if I grew up in Detroit, bro, I'd be this guy right here. We're back over 27,000. Is this me right here? I don't see it, dude. I don't see it, bro.
You're Mekhi Phifer.
I don't see it. Oil, again, IGV is dumping markets right now. It's one of the reasons. Look at IGV. It's the software tech ETF. Is dumping markets. Jim Cramer actually right. Again, oil, though, is popping up on this. And I don't see any catalyst that's really driving this move here, which is interesting. U.S. accuses China of theft of AI tech, according to the Financial Times. That could be what this is. Yeah. Don't sleep on nuclear? Yeah, for sure. NASDAQ did bounce right around 27,000. I'm going to cut out of here, though, guys. I'm just going to get out of here. I appreciate the love. Again, if you want to help support the channel, check out, you know, Apex has still got their 90% off sale. They also have their activation fee discount as well. If you use the 50K intraday on Apex, you know, it's only $69. And so Apex is good. Like I said, if you got like a cheap account, if you want to get a cheap account and like only pay once you pass, like a lot, you know, that might be a good option here. And so again, if you want to check out Apex, I'll put the link up. Great way to help support the channel. There's no PDT rule on futures. Most day traders lose money. Just remember to use my coupon code anytime you want the max discount on major prop firms. Again, you can use it on Apex. You can use it on Lucid. You can use it on Tradeify. Tradeify's got the cheapest directive funded accounts. This guy said we're going to start doing much longer streams. Continues to get off at 10 a.m. Yeah, but today's different, bro. I'm sick right now, dude. If you guys have seen my sneezes today, they were top 3 worst sneezes I've ever seen. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I mean, I think today it's a little bit more justified in me leaving early, you know?
Yeah, point is, please cut John a little bit of slack. You know?
If there's any day to cut me some slack, it's today.
But I will say, you know, join the Discord, and I really appreciate you guys getting us over 400 likes. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, it's a really nice thing to do, guys. Really nice thing to do. Did we get over 400?
Yeah, 4 or 5 right now.
I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much.
I do too.
Yeah. With that said, though, guys, I'm cutting out of here.
Everybody have a great day. Good luck in all your ventures.
Yeah, whatever y'all are doing, good luck, guys. Good luck. Y'all be good. Again, use my coupon code. I'm biased. Follow me on X.com. Follow me on X.com at Beginner Trades. Also, give me a follow on Discord, bro. I'm surprised we don't have more people out of 600 people or whoever's here following me on Discord. What happened to you guys, man? How could y'all do this, man? Y'all not joining the Discord. You know, we already got over, like, we got almost 2,000 people in there. So join it. Here's the link. Do it now. I expect you to join right now.
Thanks for tuning in. And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Yeah, I see this face. If you don't join the Discord, remember this face. All right, I'll see you guys later. Y'all be good. Have a great day.